Yes, my dear friends, good evening to all. Tell me, am I audible, visible now? Everything is perfect? Audible, visible? Tell me. Clear है ना सारी चीजें? Yeah, very good evening to all. Yes, good evening, good evening. Am I audible, visible? Everything perfect? चलो शाम का 5 बज चुका है और that is the time to start the session. तो आज जो है हमारा this is full mock, जहाँ पे जो आपके एग्जाम का जो पैटर्न है by keeping in mind हमने यहाँ पे टॉप 100 क्वेश्चन को सिलेक्ट किया हूँ and it will be same as your exam pattern, right? And also you could be able to analyze, okay, is any further improvement is needed in you or not, like that, so you could be able to judge, right? So my dear friends, first of all, yes, good luck to all for your upcoming exam before starting the session. And yeah, stay positive, and hopefully you guys have given you a lot of effort for that exam. I have seen in the last 1.5 months, and that time you will get their result. So be positive and try to give your best in the exam, then we'll get right. Just give 1 minute, my dear friends. Okay. Okay. Well, so my dear friends, let's start with the question. Okay. This is the first question on your screen from the mechanics, right? Yes, that is the first question on the screen from the engineering mechanics. और पहला क्वेश्चन देख के आप लोग डर गया होगा, अरे बाबा ये क्या क्वेश्चन आ गया. It is a very easy question. You can able to solve that question. Tell me the answer, my dear friends. Tell me the answer of that question. What will be answer? A spring scale indicate a tension T in the right hand cable, the pulley system shown in the figure, neglecting the mass of the pulley and ignoring the friction between the cable and the pulley of the mass M. Then what will be the answer of that? Tension you have to be calculate. Just draw their free body diagram and you will get the answer. Everyone, what answer you are telling? Yes, my dear friends. Very good evening to all. C for Chennai is the right answer. Good. Just nothing you have to do. Draw their free body diagram and you will get the things. Just draw their free body diagram, right? So here and I have told one thing very earlier. Whenever you have to draw the free body diagram, tension always shows above the object. है ना? कभी भी tension दिखाना हो, जिस body में दिखाना हो, हमेशा उनसे दूर हम दिखाते हैं. So yes, I think most of you guys have given. Here we can say T, 2T, and by just you can resolve the do the vertical component equal to make it equal to 0. You can see one tension will be there, one tension is there, one tension is there, one tension is there, है ना. मैंने आपको बताया था अगर एक रोप होगा तो टेंशन हमेशा सेम होगा. जब तक सिंगल रोप है, you can see, so rope is only one, so tension will be same. Yes, if rope is changed, tension could be changed, but since rope is only one, so what? Tell me, this is कितना टेंशन लग रहा है ऊपर? So we can say T, this is 2T, right, and this is further T. नीचे mg. So simply we can say here, what you can say, simple कि sir 4T is equal to what? mg. So simply m equal to what? 4T upon g. That is a very easy and easily you could be able to answer. So my dear friends, if any that type of question is coming na, डरो मत question देख के, just believe on your concept and easily you could be able to solve, right? Okay, so that is the question number 2 on your screen. That is question from the Truss. The question is that a perfect frame is that which satisfy the equation n is number of the member, j is the joint. What will be answer of that question? Question number 2 on your screen. Yes, do fast. Yes, my dear friends, that time I am getting right answer. Most of you have given the correct, and please be patient. Okay, बने रहो. हम लोग टोटल 100 क्वेश्चन डिस्कस करने वाले. That all are top 100 क्वेश्चन we can see. This will be the last question. Okay, that will be our last question, 100th questions. Right, all I have taken here, जितनी subject है सारा question मैंने यहाँ पे cover किया हूँ. So at the end, all will get revised. So my dear friends, I am going to be see that is the question of the truss, and you guys are making mistake in that question. Someone mostly have given the correct answer. That is the mechanics question. Okay, so D you have given now, right? A perfect truss, my dear friends, always keep in mind the equation of truss is equal to n equal to 2j minus 3, right? If you have remember in the classroom I have told 2j minus 3. This is called equation of perfect truss, right? This is called what? Equation of perfect truss. Whenever here see I am please try to remember, if n equal to 2j minus 3, this is frame or perfect truss, their degree of freedom will be 0, right? If n less than equal to 2j minus 3 means number of member is less than that of perfect truss, this is called deficient truss, and their degree of freedom always will be more than 1, sorry, more than 0. If n is more than 2j minus 3, so it is called redundant truss, and in that case we can get, sir, if any extra member is there, it can be removed, right? Here degree of freedom will be negative. Degree of freedom will be what, my dear friends? Negative. And this is also comes under the category of superstructure. This is also comes under the category of superstructure. This is called structure, right? This is called machine, and this is called superstructure. So they may ask anything like that. Try to remember all that point. Okay, that is another question, and you can do that question. That is the question from the collision. Question is that a mass m1 100 kg traveling with a uniform velocity of 5 meter per second along a line collide with a stationary mass m2 is 1000 kg. After the collision, both masses travel together. I think all the offline classes student can able to answer that question, and no need to solve the question. You can see the data telling that it is a numerical, but actually it is not a numerical. It is a pure theoretical question. So don't be feared just by seeing the question. With the same velocity, the coefficient of restitution, what will be answer यार? Answer should come now. आ जाना चाहिए था आंसर, अब तक आ जाना चाहिए आंसर. 0, बिल्कुल सही जवाब. Whenever you see travel together, always keep in mind E will be 0. That all are irrelevant data, right? That all are irrelevant. Here, my dear friends, I have come with the solution. In the class earlier, I have told that thing. Coefficient of restitution is what? Velocity of separation upon velocity of approach. Always keep in mind, even they can ask the formula. Velocity of separation upon velocity of approach. And my dear friends, velocity of separation, since v1 v2 have moving same velocity. जैसे आप किसी मान लो 9 पे आपने छलांग लगा दिया, तो जैसे ही आपने किसी 9 पे छलांग लगाया, तो 9 और आपका वेलोसिटी क्या हो जाएगा? सेम हो जाएगा. So what is the velocity of separation? It will be 0, sir. So 0 upon anything, it will be always 0. So my dear friends, in that case, Young's E will be what? Coefficient of restitution will be 0. And this is called which type of collision? Which type of collision it is called? Anybody? This is called perfectly inelastic collision. Whenever E is 0, it is called perfectly inelastic collision. E equal to 1 called perfectly elastic collision. E going to lie between 0 to 1, it is called inelastic collision. So keep in mind all the point about the collision, and that is important. Well, that is the question from the strength of material. The bending moment diagram for a cantilever with UDL over a complete span will shown by a curve, and some option you have. Answer that question fast, my dear friends. Yes, good, Rolex, right. Answer that question. Bending moment diagram you have to be tell. What will be when a cantilever beam is there? There is a cantilever beam, my dear friends, right? And there is a case of UDL. तो इसका आपको कर्व बताना है, which type of the profile will get a bending moment, BMD. What will be answer of that question? Everyone tell me. Question. Write down question number, yaar. Write down question number, na. Write down question number, then answer. Question number 4th on your screen. Anybody? What about others? D for Delhi, parabola. My dear friends, right. Whenever that type of question is going to ask, na, be happy. Why? Because it is easy to solve. मैंने क्लास में बोला था, जब कभी भी आपको बेंडिंग मोमेंट डायग्राम ड्रॉ करना, whenever you have to be calculate the bending moment diagram, just take a section. So I have taken that section, sir. Right? Just take a section. Now tell me, let's assume this is the distance is what, my dear friends, from x distance. So what is the total load? We can say total load moment about x-axis will be total load is W into X, and how much distance it will act? Obviously it will act at a distance of X by 2. So into X by 2. Clearly we can say, sir, bending moment diagram about X-axis coming out to be mx square upon 2. That will be parabola. D for Delhi will be the right answer. Now can anybody can tell me what will be their shear force diagram? What will be their shear force diagram, my dear friends? What will be their shear force diagram? Anybody? Shear force diagram. What will be shear force diagram? It will be what? It will be what? Yes. Yes, my dear friends. If it is going to ask about the shear force diagram, then you can go through with option C. So right, try to remember all that point well. Okay. In that it is going to be change. Simply we can see na baba, shear force क्या करोगे? देखो इस सेक्शन में कितना होगा shear force? Simply we can say W into X. This is W Newton per meter, है ना? W into X. So what is the variation? So linear. X equal to 0. Shear force will be 0. X equal to L. WL. So it will be something like that. Not triangle. How it will be rectangular? Clear? So just by do you could be able to solve if anything is going to be asked. Right. Okay, so my dear friends, okay, that is the next question on the screen, question number 5th. That is question taken from the theory of failure. Question is that a transmission shaft subjected to bending and torsion movement should be designed on the basis of maximum principal stress theory, maximum shear stress theory, permissible bearing pressure, or option D, none of the above. What will be answer? Question number 5 on your screen. Question number 5 on your screen. Be energetic, right? This is the last kick before your exam. So try to utilize that. Last नहीं बोलते हो. If you go to the airport, it is said that this is last and final call. So this is last and final session of 2025 for BEL. So try to maximize that. Once you leave, छूट जाएगी फिर. Yes, my dear friends, see, यहाँ पे theory of failure says we can expect at least one question. You can expect at least one question from theory of failure because all that time that is going to be asked. So my dear friends, in the question, whenever you talk about bending and twisting combined, it is going to talk about the maximum shear stress theory. When this is basically applicable in case of ductile material. So keep in mind, whenever it is going to be right, bending torsion, it will be going to design on the basis of maximum shear stress theory. Right? Okay. Now, my dear friends, little bit I want to give you brief information about what is maximum principal stress theory. That is, I am going to tell you a little bit and try to remember. Even in the class I have told. My dear friends, listen, maximum principal stress theory, the another name is Rankine theory. So first thing you have to be remember always, I usually say in the class, kabhi kabhar exam mein aapko other name they are going to be asked. They can say principal stress theory is also known as, some option could be there. So it will be the Rankine theory, and this is best applicable in case of brittle material. So maximum principal theory, maximum principal stress theory, Rankine theory, Lens theory, maximum stress theory, all are same thing, applicable based in case of brittle material, right? Next you talk about maximum principal strain energy theory, also known as Saint-Venance theory. This is satisfactory in the brittle material. Next, if you talk about maximum shear stress theory, Tresca theory or Guest and Tresca theory, so this is most applicable in case of ductile material. In case of ductile material, this is mostly going to be applicable, right? Next, you talk about, my dear friends, maximum shear strain. Note, okay, maximum shear strain, also known as distortion energy, also known as Hanke and von Mises theory. This is most or better, applicable in case of ductile. सबसे best जो ductile में हमें result देता है, this is going to be given by the maximum shear strain energy theory. So ये भी याद रखोगे. अगर ऑप्शन में दोनों हो, then I have to prefer that in case. So no, you have a material is ductile, right? And in the option shear stress theory and maximum shear strain theory, both are in the option. Then you have to prefer the maximum shear strain energy, right? If it is not in the option and maximum shear stress or Tresca is there, you have to be going through that. Keep in mind all that point, right? Well, so that is the next question. According to distortion energy theory, the yield strength in shear is. What will be answer of that question? What will be answer of that question, my dear friends? Answer fast. And yeah, don't forget to like the session, right? Yeah, thank you. Yes, my dear friends. According to distortion energy theory, the yield strength is what, my dear friends? This is 0.57 times of the yield strength in the tension. So yes, D for Delhi is the right answer. If I will ask about B, अच्छा चलो अगला क्वेश्चन हम देख लेते हैं. That is the next question on the screen. Good. Even it is given in that format also, so try to remember upon root 3 in that format, although they are going to be give sometimes. कभी कभी ये दे देता है इस format में भी. That is the next question. Region of safety for maximum principal stress theory under biaxial stress is shown by ellipse, square, pentagon or hexagon. Question number, write down question number then answer. It will be easy to me, right? नहीं तो मेरे आंख पे बहुत strain आता है. Question number 7. Yes, my dear friends, that is the third type of question which is going to ask in the exam regarding theory of failure. Either they will ask which theory is best applicable for material, either they will ask which type of curve, which type of profile going to shown by different theories of failure. So my dear friends, always keep in mind when you talk about maximum shear stress theory, that always shows the safe zone is what? Square. It is coming something like that. Now it's your turn. Tell me in which case you are getting hexagon or in which case you are getting ellipse. I have everything I have told in the class. So tell me what will be ellipse and hexagon. Hexagon किसको दिखाता है? कौन सा थ्योरी ऑफ फेल्योर का सेफ जोन बताता है? और ellipse जो है वो कौन सा थ्योरी को हमें सेफ जोन बताता है? You have to be comment that. Right now, whenever you talk about maximum principal stress theory, this is shown by the square, right? Okay, good. So I think most of you have given the correct answer. Rest also you have to be answer. That is the next question, and I think little bit I have to be zoom out that question, right? You have to be tell which of the following figure are correct sketch of the Mohr circle of the given state of stress. That is the case of pure shear. That is the case of pure shear, and you have to be tell what will be the Mohr circle for that case. Answer everyone, waiting. So this is the case of pure shear, my dear friends, right? This is the case of pure shear. And अगर आप मुझे YouTube पे भी देख रहे हो, so from the very earlier मैं हमेशा बोला करता हूँ to construct a circle, how many information you needed? Yes sir, I needed 2 information. To make any circle, you need 2 information. One is center, another one is radius. Once I get the center and radius, I can draw any circle. So if you see about that is called pure shear case. So what is center? Center is always act sigma x plus sigma y by 2 and sigma x plus sigma y by 2 and 0. That is the center of the Mohr circle, right? Center. So tell me what will be center? What is sigma x sigma y? 0. This is a pure shear. So center will be at 0, 0. Now go through the option. See, only one option is there in which center is 0, 0 and D will be the right answer. Right? D will be the right answer. Don't give much more stress over your mind. Okay? In exam, be relaxed. Try to eliminate the option. As easy you can solve the question. ठीक है? Right? So that will be 0. What will be radius, my dear friends? Radius, anybody? So sir, sigma x minus sigma y by 2 whole square plus of tau xy square under bracket. So put the sigma x, sigma y, all are 0. So r is equal to what? Tau xy and tau x. So simply here we can say so center is 0 and radius is equal to tau, means shear stress, and shear stress is that, make that one. And always keep in mind जो हमारा y एक्सिस होता है उसमें हम shear stress दिखाते हैं और x एक्सिस पे हमेशा normal stress on over the x axis and shear stress is on over the y axis, right? So keep in mind that thing. So okay, it is easy, you could be able to solve. Now tell me, my dear friends, anybody, is it Mohr circle is right? Is it Mohr circle is right? Anybody can tell me, is it Mohr circle is right? Yes or no? What do you think? Is it Mohr circle is right? No. Why? Because of their center, sir. Center always and always lies on the x-axis of the Mohr circle. Because just now I have seen center is at sigma x plus sigma y by 2 and 0. So y-axis is always 0. So that Mohr circle is wrong. Always you will write at a x-axis. Even in the class I have told a lot of times about that. And more good thing is that you all have remembered that point. That is the next question from the theory of machine. Question is that a planar mechanism has 8 link and 10 rotatory joint. The number of degree of freedom of the mechanism using Gruber criteria is. Have you remembered the Gruber criteria? Anyone have remember? Tell me the answer of that. Question number 9th on your screen. Question number 9th on your screen. What answer is coming out to be, my dear friends? आया किसी का? What answer is coming out to be? Question number 9. 3n, you know 3n minus 1 minus 2j, right? 3n minus 1 minus 2j, right? Just put the value here. 8 links, so n is given 8, joint is 10. Easily you could be able to solve, and B is the right answer, right? And yeah, most of you have given the right answer that time. 3n minus 1 minus 2j, minus h is also there, but that is a higher pair, and usually 0 higher pair unless until not mentioned. So simply we can say 3n minus 1 minus 2j, right? Yeah, just put the value, easily will get the answer. It is coming out to be degree of freedom is what? 1. It is coming out to be simply, right? Okay, so that is the next question from theory of machine. Again, question is that a gear train that useful the transmission high velocity ratio with gear of moderate size in a comparatively lesser space. Hypocyclic gear train, reverted, compact, and epicyclic gear train. What you are going to use? Anybody can tell me? Question number 10th. Question number 10th. What is the answer? Is a gear train that useful for transmission high velocity ratio and gear of moderate size. My dear friends, whenever you have to be get the high velocity ratio and you want compact size of the gear train, in that case always I am going to prefer epicyclic gear train. What, my dear friends? I am going to prefer epicyclic gear train, not the reverted gear train, right? Reverted gear train, not, it will epicyclic gear train. You can say, sir, how it look like? So I have came with the answer. Here we can say it is look like that, no? This is your epicyclic gear train, and in that way you have to be answered that one. Someone is going to talk about reverted. So reverted gear train, compound gear train in which input shaft and output shaft are coaxial, right? Here we can say input and output shaft are coaxial in case of reverted gear train. Keep in mind. And one important point about the reverted gear train, at least 2 gear are mounted on the same shaft. If you talk about reverted gear train, commonly used in the clocks, gearbox, and machine tools. So try to remember that important point about the reverted gear train also. Right. Well, come to the next question. Even okay, I have given the reverted gear train also for you guys, right? So that it should be visual a little bit. ऐसे करके आपको दिखेगा, आप देख रहे हो? It is something like a compound gear train. Well, that is the next question. A velocity that is again from the theory of machine. The relative velocity of end B with respect to end A in a rigid link AB. What will be answer of that question? What will be answer of that question, my dear friends? A relative velocity of end B with respect to other end A in a rigid link AB. That is the question has been taken from the velocity and acceleration analysis. Velocity and acceleration analysis, that question has been taken from that segment. Yes. What answer I am getting here? Parallel to AB. What answer? Tell me. A, B, C, D. What answer? Question number 11th on your screen. A. Yeah. That time, everyone, my dear friends, simply we can think, na? Suppose this is the rigid link, right? This is the rigid link. Okay. And इसको तुम घुमाओ, इसको घुमाओ, मतलब ये कुछ ऐसे रोटेट करेगा, है ना जी? मैं यहाँ पे दिखाता हूँ. It will be rotate something like that. I say this is A, this is B. So what will be the velocity? Tangent to that, na? This is tangent to that, na? So it is normal to AB, Baba. It is normal to AB. So perpendicular to AB. A is the right answer, not parallel to AB. Right? This will be perpendicular. और कुछ सोच भी लो ना. Suppose करो ये link है. Let's assume that is the link. Okay, and it is going to be rotate. So what will be velocity at that end? You have to draw the tangent. You have to draw the tangent, and tangent is always perpendicular to the circumference. Tangent is always perpendicular to circumference. So simply we can say perpendicular to AB. And yeah, good thing is that most of you have given the correct answer. Here even we can see. That is another question. Yeah, that is question from the vibration, a mechanical vibration. Question is that at a certain speed, revolving shaft tends to vibrate violently in the transverse direction. This speed is known as whirling speed, critical speed, whipping speed, or all of the above. What will be answer? Question number 12 on your screen. Everyone, my dear friends, all can answer. Question number 70. Sorry, not 72. Question number 12. Huh? My dear friends, you know what is happening. Yeah, what answer I am getting? Here someone is A, someone is B, someone is D. What about others? My dear friends, always and always keep in mind, whirling speed, critical speed, that all are the same term. That is not a different, right? The correct answer will be D for Delhi. Here we can say how the whirling of the shaft is going to be takes place. See, my dear friends, here it is going to be rotated. So what is happening at the central, due to the centrifugal force, it is something shifted, right? And the speed at which that phenomena we can find, that is called critical speed. Especially if you talk about in case of turbine blade, it is going to be designed at a very higher than the that critical speed or whirling of shaft. So that is something called, right? So correct answer is here D for Delhi. All are the same thing, my dear friends. All are is the same thing, right? So don't make a mistakes. D for Delhi. Even I have seen in the some book they have given option A, but the option D is the right. Okay, so that is the next question. Okay, that is another question from the mechanical vibration. And now I think everyone can answer that question. No? That is easy. You can be able to solve that question. Question number 13 on your screen. Question number 13 on your screen. A spring mass system, the mass of the system is double and the spring stiffness is made half. The natural frequency of the vibration is, and some option you have. What will be natural frequency of the vibration? 13th. Okay, everyone have to be answer, my dear friends. Apple Chennai. There is a competition between Apple and Chennai. Huh? There is a competition between Apple and Chennai. Okay, I am going to give one lifeline, and lifeline is that Chennai is the wrong answer. Now tell me, Chennai is the wrong answer. This is your lifeline. Okay, now what is the answer? Someone is option D. Huh? Someone is option D. This is another lifeline. Okay, D for Delhi is the wrong. My dear friends, why you are making mistakes here? You know what is the natural frequency? What is the natural frequency? If you have remember, so this is root under K upon M na dost. This is root under K upon M na. Tell me, K is stiffness, M is the mass. So in a spring mass system, mass of the system is double. Babu, mass is made double. So if you have to be calculate natural frequency in case of 2, so simply we can say, sir, it is mass is double. So K upon 2M and spring stiffness made half. So it will be K upon 2. So ultimate 2. So what will be 1 upon, you can say, sir, it will be 1 upon 4 K upon M, right? So it will be 1 upon 2 na baba. Tell me babu, 1 upon 2 root under K upon M na. So this is half of omega n na yaar. Huh? Half of omega n na. So A for apple is the right answer. Please try to remember that thing na. याद करो ये natural frequency is given by root under K upon M. Okay. So the correct answer is what, my dear friends? A for apple, not B for Bombay and any others. It will be option will be DC if stiffness is made double, right? If stiffness is made double, then option will be C. Okay, now? So don't make a mistake like that. Fine, and it is easy question. That is the question from the column. The question is that the cylinderness ratio of a column is defined as the ratio of its length to its. Right, answer that question. This is question from the column. Question has been from the strength of material. Column is an important topic. So that question has been taken from the column. Or I think sabhi answer de paoge. Question number 14. What answer I am getting? Question number 14. A for apple. This time everyone have given the right answer. Cylinder's ratio, cylinder defined as the ratio of its length to the least radius of gyration, my dear friends, right? Least radius of gyration. So A for apple is the right answer, no D for Delhi. Remember, try to remember that thing. Don't forget at least till the exam. Okay, effective length of the column upon least radius of gyration. So this is called cylinderness ratio. I will come one more question about that. Okay, that is the again question from the tome. When the speed of engine fluctuates continuously above and below the mean speed, then the governor is said to be hunting, stable, unstable, or isochronous. Right answer, everyone. Question number 15 on your screen. What will be answer question number 15? When the speed of the engine fluctuates continuously above and below the mean speed, then the governor is said to be what? Hunting. Yes, my dear friends, then the governor is said to be what? Hunting. So A is the right answer. Actually, now even at that case, what is happening? Load is not going to be changed. Further, it have going to be huge variation with respect to mean point. Even load is not okay. Let's assume load is going to be changed, then I can understand. Okay, load is changing, so getting the different. But in that case, even load is not going to be changed. Still, we can get that is case is called what? Hunting. So A for apple is the right answer. Even I have written every point here. Hunting is a governor condition in which engine speed fluctuates constantly above and below the mean position, even when load remains constant. Cause of hunting, governor become too sensitive. Even they may ask, if the hunting is there, what will be governor? It is too sensitive, right? Load damping in the governor mechanism, time lag between the supply and change in the engine response. So keep in mind about all that point about the hunting. This is the question from the thermodynamics, and no one can answer that question. No one can wrong answer that question. इतना तो एक्सपेक्ट करूं ना कि यार ये तो सब सही बता दोगे, ये तो सब सही बता दोगे ना. You are mechanical. If you are mechanical, obviously you will give the right answer of that question. अगर mechanical नहीं हो, then no problem. What answer? Question number 16. Yes, my dear friends, question number 16. That time you guys saying sir that ये इज्जत की बात है सर, हम मैकेनिकल हैं और कर्नाट की बात ना करें, ये हो ही नहीं सकता है. बिल्कुल सही जवाब है. 2 isothermal and 2 isentropic process. So B for Bombay. Even that question has been asked in BEML last year exam. Last year means last exam which was conducted. So I have taken B for Bombay is the right answer. Good. It was easy question and expected everyone can do the answer of that one. That is the next question. Pressure reaches a value of absolute zero at a temperature of 273 Kelvin under vacuum condition at the earth center when the molecular momentum of the system becomes zero. What will be answer of that question? Question number 17 on your screen. Pressure reaches value of absolute zero. My dear friends, go to the basics. Why the pressure appears in the, even I will come with the, in the BDL. What is the main cause behind the pressure? The main cause behind the pressure is the molecular collision. Always keep in mind. If the molecular collision increases, pressure increases. Molecular collision decreases, pressure decreases, right? So, if you are going to be molecular momentum system becomes zero, and this is happening at the minus 273 Kelvin, not 273, minus, sorry, minus, or you can say minus 273 degrees Celsius or 0 Kelvin. At the 0 Kelvin, momentum is going to be resisted. At that time, you can say pressure is what? Zero. So whenever momentum of the system becomes zero, means the pressure is zero because no collision is there. So that is the basic things always keep in mind. D for Delhi is the right answer. Under vacuum condition, how? B is the wrong answer, Baba. B is not the right answer is D, not B, right? Vacuum condition is what? Vacuum, vacuum pressure, even pressure less than atmosphere is called vacuum pressure. Okay, that is the next question. In case of reaction steam turbine, what will be? There is enthalpy drop in fixed and moving blade. There is enthalpy drop only in the fixed blade. There is enthalpy drop only in moving blade. There is no enthalpy drop. What will be answer of that question? Question number 18 on your screen. Question number 18. Question is that in case of which turbine? Reaction steam turbine. There is enthalpy drop. What answer? 18A. Good, my dear friends. Whenever you talk about reaction turbine, the enthalpy drop takes place fixed as well as moving, both the blade. The enthalpy drop is going to be takes place, right? But if you talk about impulse turbine, so it is not going to be takes place in both the blade. That is another question. The efficiency of superheat Rankine cycle is higher than that of simple Rankine cycle because what will be answer? Question number 19. What is the answer? Question number 19 on your screen. The efficiency of superheat Rankine cycle is higher than that of simple Rankine. Why? Question number 19 on your screen. Efficiency of superheat Rankine cycle higher than the simple Rankine cycle, because what is happening, the mean temperature of heat addition is higher, especially in case of superheat cycle. You know, my dear friends, if you have remember, here we can say simple, you can draw their TS diagram. So this is simple Rankine cycle, we can say like that, saturated case, okay, and this is called superheated, that is called superheated case. So in the superheated, we can say mean temperature of heat addition increases. Once the mean temperature of heat addition increases, we can say the efficiency will be what, my difference, increases. Even another advantage you can also see, if you talk about simple Rankine cycle, so this is the dryness fraction. In the superheated, this is the dryness fraction. Now tell me, in which case turbine blade have more life, in case of simple Rankine or superheated? You can think, if you think about simple Rankine cycle, so you can say this is the liquid content, na sir, this is liquid plus vapor. So as you coming down, liquid content increases, and more time turbine blade will remain with the liquid content, so corrosion problem can be there. But here if you talk about in case of superheated, so only that much portion comes in the contact with the water, or even you can say the wet region, so the life will increase. So even by doing the superheat, life of the turbine blade is what, increasing, matlab you can say life is increases, right? So keep in mind that point, even they may ask, so be ready for that, okay, even thing. Okay, fine. Which of the following is a fire tube boiler? Which one of the following is a fire tube boiler? Lancashire boiler, Babcock, Wilcock, both of the above, none of the above. Fire tube boiler. What answer? Question number 20 on your screen. Very good evening, शर्मा जी, आज लेट हो गए हो? हाँ? Lancashire. Yes, my dear friends, at least try to keep in their name. What is fire tube and what is water tube boiler? कौन सा fire tube है और कौन सा अपना water tube है, right? यहाँ पे देख लो नाम, fire tube boiler, you know, Cochrane, Lancashire, Cornish, Scotch, locomotive. That all comes under the category of fire tube boiler. If you talk about water tube boiler, so it is Babcock, Wilcock, Stirling, Lamont, Benson, Uello, and you know, Loflet, or you can say Lofer boiler. So that all. Now tell me, which of the boiler is called supercritical boiler? Which boiler is called supercritical boiler? From the option, I will ask, which one is called supercritical boiler? Right. So Benson is called supercritical boiler. So keep in mind that question they may ask. That is the next question. In gas turbine plant, regenerator increases work output, pressure ratio, thermal efficiency, all of the above. In gas turbine plant, regenerator, what the regenerator do? What the regenerator do? Question number right, everyone, my dear friends. Regenerator. I am going to be see here. Yeah, most of the guys have given the right answer. 21, D for Delhi. No, not D for Delhi. Someone have gone through A for Apple. A for Apple is what? Pressure ratio, thermal efficiency. Gas turbine, you talk about regenerator. So what is the purpose of regenerator, my dear friends? What is the purpose of regenerator? You know, if you have remember, my dear friends, if you have seen that, right, I will talk about, this is point 1, this is point 2, this is point 3, this is point 4, right? My dear friends, that is your compressor outlet. This 1 to 2 is what? This is your compressor, this is your compressor, and this is your turbine, right? So what is happening? This is entry of turbine, this is exhaust of turbine. First thing they may ask, what is the condition for the regeneration? In regeneration, what is happening? Some portion of the energy which is going to exhaust to the atmosphere, that is going to use for the regeneration. Suppose if this temperature is high, suppose this temperature is high, turbine outlet temperature is high, something I can draw like that, it will be better. Okay. Okay, so this is point 3 and this is point 4, where we can say turbine outlet temperature is more than the exhaust temperature of the compressor, so you can use that much amount of energy. ये जो है ना, इतना हम use कर लेंगे, that इसको exhaust होना था, that was to be exhausted, but I can use that, and that is called what, my dear friends? Regenerator. In case of regenerator, the work of turbine remains constant, there is no change. Okay, pressure ratio no. So what is happening? Mean temperature of heat addition increases, because of that thermal efficiency increases. No, I will ask one thing, my dear friends. I want to ask one thing. Tell me, I am going to use that much amount of energy only for the regeneration purpose और हमारा efficiency बढ़ गया. Is it feasible कि मैं सारा energy use कर लूं, मैं कुछ exhaust ही नहीं होने दूं? In regenerator क्या हो रहा है? Regenerator में the exhaust portion of energy you are going to use for the, यहाँ पे देखो, पहले 0.2 पे तुम्हारा कंबसन चैम्बर में जा रहा था बॉयलर में, अब यहाँ पे जाएगा, यहाँ पे अब मान लो ये 2 डाइस है तो यहाँ पे अब जाएगा, इतना जो है ना, इतना वाला एनर्जी हम कहाँ से दे दिए, यहाँ से दे दिए. इससे हमारा फ्यूल भी कम फ्यूल का कंजम्पशन भी कम हो जाएगा. बट नहीं कर सकते हैं. यस, इट विल वायलेट द केल्विन प्लैंक्स स्टेटमेंट और सेकंड थर्मोडायनामिक्स लॉ, because it will work in a single reservoir and everything will go on bad. It will not possible. So keep in mind, thermal efficiency increases, work output remains constant, compressor output remains constant. All are well. Here I have given all that thing. That is the next question. The most efficient method of compression air is to compress is adiabatically, isentropically, isothermally, or isochronically. What will be there? Yes, yes, right. Answer that question. Question number 22 on your screen. That time everyone is going to give the answer C for Chennai. Good. Isothermally करेंगे, we will get the very less amount of work. Not get, you have to be give the work in case of compressor. So isothermally required minimum amount of heat. Actually isothermal achieve करना मुश्किल नहीं, नामुमकिन है. You cannot achieve the isothermal, right? That's why I am going to do the what you can say, cooling, intercooling I am going to do to get that condition. If you have remember, you have seen their PV diagram. Okay, so if I have to reach from that point to that point, so one is here, different. Okay, and in that case we will get the minimum slow, so work done will be the least. That's why it is called isothermally. Okay, so that is the next question. The efficiency of a Carnot cycle is 0.75. If the cycle is reversed, the COP of heat refrigerator will be, what will be COP of heat refrigerator? Polytropic is actually happening. I use polytropic actually happening. But I want to close the isothermally. What will be answer of that question? Question number 23 on your screen. Question number 23 on your screen. Okay, my dear friends, I am getting A for apple, but A for apple is the wrong answer, Baba. मेरे दोस्त, मेरे देशवासियों, A for apple is the wrong answer, Baba. Now give another lifeline I have given to you. 23, A for apple is the wrong answer. See, my dear friends, you can say, sir, in the question, COP of Carnot efficiency of Carnot cycle is given. This is 0.75. My dear friends, COP of refrigerator, so COP of heat pump, is always equal to 1 upon efficiency of simply we can say the Carnot cycle. In case of reversible, obviously I talk about the reversible. So from there we can say the COP of heat pump, it is easy question. It will be equal to 1 upon 0.7. How much it is coming out to be, my dear friends? And COP of heat pump is equal to COP of refrigerator plus 1 equal to 1 upon 7.5, or you can say 4 upon 3, right now. This is coming out to be 100, 4 upon 3. Now solve that. From there we can say what will be COP of refrigerator? COP of refrigerator will be 4 by 3 minus what? 1. So how much it is coming out to be? 1 upon 3 means 0.33, Baba. Right, 0.33. So it is easy. You could be able to do that. Easy tha. So correct answer is what? B for Bombay. Okay, my dear friends. Can anybody tell me what is the physical meaning of COP? What does COP indicate? If I am telling you, okay, they have high COP, what is the meaning of that? What is the meaning of that? My dear friends, always keep in mind. What is COP? COP is, you can say, desired effect upon energy input, right? Desired effect upon energy or work input, we can say work input, right? So my dear friends, listen, COP for a given desired effect, COP can I write a desired effect upon work input? For a given desired effect, can I write COP is inversely proportional to 1 upon work input? और वर्क हम देते हैं किसको को? बेसिकली आई एम गोइंग टू गिव द वर्क फॉर कंप्रेसर, और कौन सा वर्क देते हैं बाबा? इलेक्ट्रिकल वर्क, राइट? सो माय डियर फ्रेंड्स, सीओपी indicate the running cost. If electrical work is high, COP will be less. COP will be less. The meaning is that cost is high, because you know work input, this is the electrical input. So if the work input is high, COP will be less. Work input is high, meaning is that electricity consumption is high. Electricity consumption is high, meaning is that electricity cost will be high. Electricity cost will be high. So simply we can say, so COP indicates the running cost. Higher the COP, lower is the running cost, or vice versa. Clear or not? So anything, try to realize that point. Lot of things, okay, I will discuss some another session. It is said that, always keep in mind that Carnot refrigerator works better in the winter rather than summer. So that thing also I will discuss sometime. Meanwhile, keep in mind, COP indicates the running cost. Higher the COP, lower is the running cost, right? Okay, come to the next question. Well, so I think you have did that. That is the next question. Where does the lowest temperature occur in a vapor compression cycle? कहाँ पे lowest temperature मिलेगा in case of vapor compression cycle? Evaporator, condenser, expansion valve, or compressor? Question number 24 on your screen. That time, again someone is making mistake. What answer? My dear friends, if you talk about vapor compression cycle now, in case of vapor compression cycle, how you are going to make a mistake here? See that diagram? This is your vapor compression, and all the power plant or the RAC cycle will be anti-clockwise, because clockwise is a power producing, anti-clockwise is power absorbing. So if you talk about vapor compression, this is, or ये क्या है हमारा compression है ना, means you have to give the work. Anything you are going to compress means you have to give the work. So यहाँ पे देखो 1 से 2, okay, this is your compressor. 2 to 3, this is your condenser. 3 to 4 is expansion valve, and 4 to 1, this is your evaporator, and this is your cabin, this is your room, and from room it is going to be take the heat, and you can say this is the lowest temperature. So always keep in mind, in VCRS cycle, lowest temperature always I can achieve in case of evaporator, not others. I think most of you have given B for Bombay. It is wrong answer, Baba. This will be the evaporator, right? Minimum temperature we can achieve evaporator. Maximum temperature we can achieve at the exit of compressor. Maximum temperature at the exit of compressor. Exit of compressor, right? So keep in mind. Lot of things to discuss sometime, because tomorrow is your exam. So whenever you meet in another session, I will discuss lot of things regarding that. Right? Okay. So that point you have to be keep in mind, evaporator. Well, okay, come to the next question. During dehumidification process, पता नहीं क्यों लिख दिया, बताओ ऐसे कितना गलती कर सकता है? गलती करने का एक लिमिट है. You guys are going to cross that. During dehumidification process remains constant. Dehumidification process, wet bulb temperature, relative humidity, dry bulb temperature, specific humidity. What will be answer of that question? Question number 25. Question number 25 on your screen. Wet bulb temperature. Okay, what about others? Question number 25 on your screen. C for Chennai, dry bulb temperature, and different answer I am getting here. Wet bulb temperature, relative humidity, dry bulb temperature, specific humidity. During dehumidification process, always keep in mind, it will be going to be takes place at the dry bulb temperature. How we have, if you have remember a chart, right? So it is going to be happening something like that, right? So this is your simply we can say the specific humidity, or this is your DBT, dry bulb temperature. You have to dehumidify, right? So it will be the straight line. This is called dehumidification. So simply we can say during the dehumidification, dry bulb temperature remains constant. Now tell me, in the world, In the world, I am telling you, is any device which is going to only dehumidification? In the world, tell me any device name which is going to do only dehumidification. Only dehumidification? No, sir. In the world, there is not a single device which is going to do only dehumidification. Yes, they can do dehumidify him. They can do cooling and dehumidification, heating and humidification, cooling and dehumidification. They can do out, but only humidification, only dehumidification is not possible. What AC do? What AC do? AC cooling and dehumidify. What cooling AC do? Cooling and डिह्यूमिडिफाई. यू हैव सीन कभी कभार एसी से पानी गिरता रहता है. क्यों गिरता रहता है? क्योंकि वाटर वेपर को हटाता है हवा से. यू आर गोइंग टू यूज ना. वन क्वेश्चन आई वांट टू आस्क हियर. इन सपोज मैं आपको डेजर्ट में दे आता हूं. सपोज यू आर गोइंग टू इन द डेजर्ट एरिया लाइक राजस्थान, एंड आई विल टेल यू टू ऑप्शन यू हैव. You play one AC and another cooler. What you will prefer? To use AC in the desert area or to use cooler? What you will prefer? Anybody? Anybody? हाँ, जैसलमेर. यस, चलो जैसलमेर में हो, क्या प्रेफर करोगे? नो एसी, नो मावा. एसी नो, यू डोंट हैव टू बी यूज द एसी. Why sir? Because in the desert already air is dehumidified. Already air is dehumidified. For human body, relative humidity should be 50%. In that case, I am feeling comfort. If relative humidity becomes more than 50%, I will get the sweating in my body. If relative humidity less than 50%, body will becomes dry. Like in the winter season, you know what is happening? Relative humidity decreases, so you're getting your skin is getting dried. You use the moisturizer over that. But in the summer, when the water vapor is more, it becomes more humidified, and our sweat is coming. So if you are in the desert area, always keep in mind AC you have to be not use, my dear friends, because in the desert already it what you can say, air is dehumidified, no water vapor is there, less water vapor. So you have to be use the desert cooler. That's what he said, that in the use the desert cooler in the desert area. You should say like desert cooler. Yeah, okay. So keep in mind all that point. Lot of things have to be discussed. What about wettable temperature, my dear friends? Sometimes they are going to ask about the, sometimes they are going to ask what is the wettable temperature. Always keep in mind that is the minimum temperature that you can get in any earthen pot, you can get in cooling towers. Sometimes they are going to ask what is the minimum temperature that I can get in the earthen pot. Earthen pot जानते हो, घड़ा जिसको बोलते हो, earthen pot. Minimum temperature we can get the wettable temperature. Anything it is going to be cooled by the water, minimum temperature that you can get will be equal to the wettable temperature. Even in the cooling tower, minimum temperature that you can achieve, it will be the wettable temperature, right? Relative humidity, this is the ratio of water content at a given temperature, water vapor, to the maximum that could be possible at that. Okay, a lot of things to be discussed. We'll discuss in some other time. So meanwhile, you have to be keep in mind in the dehumidification process, dry bulb temperature will be the constant, right? Okay, come to the next question. Or sometimes I used to say in the class, engineers is not going to take daily bath in the winter season. It's a good concept, why? If you are not going to daily take the bath in the winter season, what is happening? What some dust particles comes and it is going to in the porous part of your skin, right? Okay, that's good. Once you are going to take the bath, after the soap, you are going to remove that dust particles. So what is happening here? Porous is open and our body gets dry. That's why if you have seen in your winter season, once you take the bath, go in the sunshine, you see body getting dried faster and faster. Why? Because whatever dust was there, it has been removed. So getting more and more, body is getting dried. That's why engineer not usually used to take the bath in the winter season, right? And I have a concept that. Okay, so that all about the things, Come to the next question. Question number 26 on your screen, my dear friends. A screen, not a skin. Especially engineers. Come to that question. For the same compression ratio, thermal efficiency of, my dear friends, listen. Whenever you are going to be solving the question, and in the question, if same compression ratio is written, listen, you are going to solve the question. if in the question you are getting ki same compression ratio is there, always keep in mind, always and always Otto cycle have more efficiency than that of diesel cycle. No need to check anything. So whenever you are going to in the exam, you are seeing same compression ratio, forget all the concept, go through Otto cycle will be more efficient than that of diesel cycle. And yes, obviously dual will be in between these two. Dual will be Otto cycle is less than diesel. No, my dear friends, note C, make it correct. D for Delhi. Whenever you talk about same compression ratio, Otto cycle have more efficient than that of diesel, and dual cycle will be in between these two. देखो वन ऑफ माय फ्रेंड टेलिंग सर इसलिए पेट्रोल महंगा है. हाँ, yes, keep in mind. Well, come to the next question. Question number 27 on your screen. Here, same compression ratio and heat addition, you know, same maximum temperature, and that thing is given, it will be diesel and dual. Okay, one thing I am telling you very simple now. Whenever you see in the question same compression ratio is not written, listen, you are going to solve the question and same compression ratio is not written, 95% chance is there the answer will be efficiency of diesel cycle more than that of Otto. You know, that is 1-2% if they are going to be, you know, thoda change kar de kuch, you know, temperature, all that could be changed. Otherwise always, if go through the question, if not same compression ratio is there, always tick the option in which diesel cycle have more efficient. 95% chance your answer will be correct, unless and until they are not going to do anything magics in the question. If same compression ratio is there, always go through the Otto cycle, you will be the right. Okay, so that way you have to be remembered here, huh? Rather than, because you know our target to get the selection at the last time, now that is the next question. The efficiency of diesel cycle approaches to Otto cycle efficiency when? Answer that question. The efficiency of you know, a diesel cycle approaches to Otto cycle when? That time cutoff is increased. No, Baba, cutoff approaches zero. Right. So cutoff increase, no those, cutoff increase. I am going to be see here wrong answers you guys are going to be given. 27 number, it will be the cutoff is what? 0. Then only it could be the approaches the Otto cycle. Cutoff is what, my dear friends? Have you remember, huh? What is cutoff? So if you have remember, na, huh? That is something like that. Okay. Okay, I'm going to make draw in better way. Don't worry. ऐसे मैं ड्रॉ ऐसा ही करता हूँ, बट ठीक है, आप लोग मेरा दोस्त हो. सी व्हाट इज कट ऑफ? सी constant volume now. So that is 0.1, that is 0.2, that is 0.3, that is 0.3, 0.4. So my dear friends, that is the point, that is you can say pressure, and obviously, so this is V, constant volume, you can say constant volume heat rejection. So my dear friends, that is the point at which diesel addition takes place, and that is the point at which diesel is going to be stopped, and that their ratio, this is called cutoff ratio. In that gap is called is what? Cutoff ratio. V3 upon V2, you can say na. V3 upon V2 is what? This is called cutoff ratio. This is called is what? Cutoff ratio. So if that becomes 0, it will be equal to the what? Otto cycle. Right? So it is called constant pressure. This is the pressure, constant pressure heat addition. And Otto cycle is called what? Constant volume heat addition. Okay. So keep in mind all that point, and I think you have remember. That is the next question on the screen, my dear friends. Ignition quality of a fuel of petrol engine is determined by petrol engine. You talk about ignition quality, C10 number, octane number, calorific value, or you know, polarity of the fuel. What will be answer of that question? Question number, I think that everyone can answer. Easy question. C10 number, octane number, right? Yes. Ignition quality you have to be checked. You have to be go through the octane number rating. Now tell me, for which material octane number is 100? For which material octane number is 100? Make a comment about that. And for which material octane number is 0? Make these two comments. I am just going to check you. Answer. Right now the correct answer is B, but I am going to ask for which material octane number is 100% and for which it 0. So my dear friends, keep in mind that they may ask Even in the interview they are going to be asked. If you talk about octane number, on the other hand, normal heptane has 0. Normal heptane has 0. Okay, and also isooctane and normal heptane, isooctane is very good antinucleon, and therefore it have written 100, octane number. So isooctane 100 and normal heptane 0. So keep in mind that thing, my dear friends. Even in the interview, they are going to ask various times. And by the mixing of these two, I can control the, octane number. And it is very dominant, especially in the, reducing the your knocking tendency. Up to critical radius of insulation. That is the next question. Question number 29th on your screen. Up to critical radius of insulation, read the option. Adding insulation to the wall decreases. I have came with the, industrial and production question at the last. Up to critical radius of insulation, adding insulation to a wall decreases heat loss. Adding insulation to wall increases heat loss. Heat flux of the wall, decreases. Convention heat loss is less than conduction heat loss in the wall. What will be answer of that question? Question number 29 on your screen. 29 इसका आंसर क्या हो जाएगा? Up to critical radius of insulation. Yes, my dear friends, adding insulation wall increases heat loss. Here we can say, even I have come with the diagram, if you have remember. So it was something like that, no? I say like that. This is called your RC, critical radius. This is without insulation. Once you started the insulation, heat transfer rate increases. Once you reach at the critical radius, further you are going to do the insulation. Rate of heat transfer is what? Decreases. Rate of increase and rate of what? Rate of heat transfer is what? Decreases. Earlier you can see rate of heat transfer increases at the critical radius, that becomes maximum, and after that. Now tell me my difference. I want to tell one thing. Suppose you have to be insulate the steam pipe. So what, in which zone you will prefer, in zone 1 or in zone 2? You have to, insulate the steam pipe. So which zone for the insulation you have to be preferred, zone 1 or zone 2? Zone 1 or zone 2? Anybody can tell me? Zone 2. Yeah, my difference, because in the steam pipe, if the heat is going to be lost, what is happening? Their quality degraded, right? So always I am going to be, so sometimes it is going to wax. How you have to design the insulation in the steam pipe? Always keep in mind, away from the critical radius. You have to be insulate. Now tell me, if you have to insulate the electric wire, you have to be insulate the electric wire. So here you should do insulation in case of electric wire. So yes sir, it should be near the critical radius, right? It should be near the critical radius, so that through the electric wire it should heat transfer takes place should be maximum. No, sometimes it is going to ask, why near? Why not exactly at the same point? That is my question. Usually it is said that in case of electric wire, you have to do the insulation near the critical radius. Yes, but my question is that why not at the critical radius? Because at the critical radius, if I am going to do the insulate, maximum heat transfer takes place and the wire life will be good. So why not at the critical radius? Anybody can tell me the answer of that one? Anybody can tell me why not at the critical radius? Why near the critical radius? Anybody? Okay, waiting for your answer for that. But keep in mind, in case of electric wire, it is going to be insulated near the critical radius, steam pipe far away the critical radius. And what is the critical radius? It is K upon H. In case of cylinder or RC will be 2K upon H in case of sphere. So always keep in mind, K upon H in case of cylinder, 2K upon H in case of sphere. Even they may ask that thing also, so be ready for that. Here I have given the answer. That is the next question. The shape factor of a hemispherical body placed on a flat surface with respect to itself is, and some option you have. The shape factor of a hemispherical body placed on a flat surface. Okay, placed on a what? Flat surface. Suppose this is any flat surface I have, like that. I have that flat surface over which मैं एक कटोरा रख देता हूँ, हेमिस्फेरिकल कटोरा इसके ऊपर है, कटोरा you know ना, it is something like that. Then they are going to ask with respect to itself, the shape factor of hemispherical it talk about. Okay, so this is the flat surface. Over that you have put the hemispherical. Okay, so like that, this is, let's assume, surface 1 and this is point 2. Surface sphere is 2. So what you have to be calculate? You have to be calculate F22. What will be F22? That thing is going to be asked. C4 Chennai 0.5, 30 D1, not 1 year. How it could be 1? You know what is shape factor? Shape factor is energy leaving from the surface and strike on the other surface. What the meaning of, simply we can say view factor. View factor simply, just one thing I want to tell you, my dear friends. In the world, all body is going to emit the radiation. In the world, all body, even you, I, this book, this copy, everything in the world going to emit the radiation, and that is called Prevost's law. According to Prevost's law, if any body have temperature more than 0 Kelvin, then they will always and always emit the radiation. But you can think, sir, I am radiation emitting and another is also. Why not, sir? Because both have same temperature. So net exchange is 0, right? I am going to emit the radiation. Someone behind me, it is also going to emit the radiation. But since both have same temperature, so net radiation transfer is what? 0. So always keep in mind, my dear friends, here you have some rules. Keep in mind, this is called simply summation rule. F22 plus F21 is equal to 1, and another is what? Simply we can say this is 2, this is 1. So simply I can say, sir, what you can say, F22 plus F21 means whatever energy releasing from the 2 goes to 1 plus whatever energy going to 2 on itself, it is equal to what? 1. So my difference, this is a flat surface, this is a flat surface. मुझे बताओ यहां से जो एनर्जी निकलेगा क्या ये सरफेस पे आएगा? See, this is a flat surface. यहां से जो एनर्जी निकलेगा क्या ये एनर्जी सरफेस पे आएगा? Tell me, is it possible in the case of flat surface? No, sir. So whenever you talk about at the flat surface, so let's assume if it is 2, so it always will be 0. It always will be 0, right? Always. But okay, now suppose I am going to make a surface like that, Baba. I am going to make a surface like that, and this is painted like that. Now tell me what is happening. Yes, sir. In that case, F22 will not be 0 because okay, some energy can strike on that, sir. Someone is going to be that, and they may strike. Someone is coming, and they may strike like that. So whatever energy is going to leave the surface 2, it is going to be a strike on itself. So here F22 cannot be 0. F22 cannot be 0 in that case. Okay, 0.5, that whatever. So always keep in mind here F22 is 0. So F21 will be 1. So A1 F21 equal to A2 F21, and yahan se F12 put the value, and by solving that the value is coming out to be 0.5. So simple, you have to use summation rule and reciprocity rule and we will get the answer. That is the next question from the radiation. Question is that if the temperature of a solid surface increases from 27 degrees Celsius to 627 degrees Celsius, its emissive power increases in the ratio of, in which ratio emissive power is going to be increased? Answer that question. After the class, I will share in the group. Just after class, I will share the PDF in the group. What answer is coming out to be? Question number 31st on your screen. Yes, you have to be used a Boltzmann law, Sigma is proportional to what? T ke power 4. Rest thing is constant. T ke power 4 na. And yes, keep in mind, temperature must be in Kelvin. It must be what? It must be in the Kelvin. Rest thing is the same. Emissivity all are right. So it will be the same. So simply we can say, my dear friends, simple. T1, T2 and emissive power is always equal to sigma T ke power 4. And from there we will get the emissive power. Okay. Emissive power you can see na, E is equal to what? Sigma T ke power 4, right? So sigma is same na. So E is directly proportional to T ke power 4, right? So we can say, sir, E1 upon T1 ke power 4 equal to E2 upon T2 ke power 4, right? So now get their ratio na. Simply we can say, sir, from there E1 upon E2, what will be the value? E1 upon E2, it will be T1 upon T2 ke power 4. Now put the value and it is coming out to be 1:81. So that is the right answer. 31D. Fine, good. This is the next question on your screen. Which instrument is used to measure the temperature inside the furnace? You have to measure the temperature inside the furnace, then what you have to be used? Show me question. Which question you talk about? Gas thermometer, optical pyrometer, alcohol thermometer, or mercury thermometer? What will be answer? Question number 32 on your screen. Which instrument used to measure the temperature inside the furnace? For measuring that temperature inside the furnace, always keep in mind you are going to use the optical pyrometer, not gas thermometer, alcohol thermometer, mercury, that all are not. It is going to use the optical pyrometer. So always keep in mind in the furnace, right? So B for Bombay is the right answer. Good. Rahul, actually now I have tried, but unfortunate it is not happening in that board. That's why I'm not going to use that. Okay, from the next time I will try in another studio. The ratio of energy transfer by convection to that of conduction. Now that is a very easy question, and I think everyone can answer. Question number 31st. Okay, I will come. The ratio of energy transfer by convection to that by of conduction is called what, my dear friends? Stanton, Nusselt, Biot, or Piclet? What answer? Answer everyone. Question number 33 on your screen. Yeah, I'm going to be see that time you guys have given the right answer. Someone is Biot number, someone have Biot number, someone with the Nusselt number. Why it is happening, huh? Okay, here if you talk about, this is HLC upon K, HLC upon K, and here it is also HLC upon K. So student usually think both are the same number. My dear friends, always keep in mind both are totally different. In case of Biot number, the thermal conductivity of solid is going to be takes place. In case of Nusselt number, I am going to take the thermal conductivity of the fluid. So these two are not same, right? HLC upon KF. So it is called our Nusselt number. It is called Nusselt number. The ratio of energy transfer by convection to that of conduction, Q convection upon Q conduction, is called Nusselt number. First thing. Now second thing, can you tell me, is it possible that Nusselt number will be less than 1? No sir, that is never possible. Because always keep in mind, my dear friends, the slowest mode of heat transfer is conduction, and the fastest mode of heat transfer is radiation, and the convection takes place between these two. Conduction is the least mode of heat transfer, means rate of heat transfer will be the least in case of radiation. In case of gas, sorry, let me make it correct. In case of conduction, rate of heat transfer will be the least, or in case of radiation, it will be the highest. Convection always lies in between these two. So it will be more than 1. If Nusselt number is 1, means here only conduction takes place, not convection. So answer is what, my dear friends? B for Bombay. Okay, fine. B for Bombay is the right answer. One more, lot of question I want to ask, but yeah, because of time restriction, you have to be cover the thing over the time. So, well, if Nusselt number is 4, we can say convection rate of heat transfer more than. Okay, one question I want to ask. Can you tell me, each conduction takes place in the fluid? Who is there? Can you tell me, is a conduction takes place in the fluid? Yes or no? Each conduction takes place in the fluid? Yes or no? Yes, my dear friends, right. It can take place in the in liquid also. Good. When? Can you tell me any example where you have seen the conduction in the liquid? Whenever liquid is trapped, my dear friends, whenever liquid is going to be trapped, in that case here conduction is takes place. We'll discuss in the some interview question about that. Okay, come to the next question. A floating body is a stable equilibrium when? That is the favorite question of all the PSUs. Even I don't know why. Even I don't know, but in all the exam I am going to see there. The floating body in stable equilibrium when metacentric height is 0, metacentric below the center of gravity below the center of buoyancy, metacenter is above the center of gravity. What answer is coming out to be? Question number 34 on your screen. A floating body, when the floating body will be stable? Yes, my dear friends. Okay, good. Always keep in mind, meta center is above the center of gravity. Meta center is above the center of gravity in case of floating body. If you talk about in case of submerged body, if you talk about in case of submerged body, then what should be answer? Then center, then but we can say center of buoyancy. My dear friends, just keep one thing in your mind. Just keep for stability. Keep. I'm telling very important thing. Listen properly. For stability, it is mandatory. It is mandatory that center of gravity should be below. For any stability condition, center of gravity must be below. किसके रिस्पेक्ट में सर? If you talk about in case of submerged body, then center of gravity must be below with respect to center of buoyancy. If you talk about floating body, then center of gravity must be below than the meta center. So always keep in mind, right? So you know what is stable? Stable means this is something like that. Okay, if I am going to be disturbed, again they will reach at that point. So that is the meaning of stability. So always keep in mind, meta center height is ever with center of gravity. That will be the stable condition in case of floating body. In case of submerged body, center of gravity should be, center of buoyancy should be above the center of gravity. And usually I used to say one thing, my dear friends, how you can remember that thing. Metacentric height, it should be positive, Baba. It should be positive, na? Metacentric height should be positive. कभी किसी और क्लास में I will take a FM in case of BDL section, right? Then we'll ask lot of things about that on that segment. One thing I want to tell you, my dear friends, if you have fly in the flight, you might have seen your luggage bag is going to be kept in the lower part of the flight. You know, Hawaii Jahaj, aeroplane. Why? Why it is going to keep in the lower part of your luggage is going to be kept in the lower part of the aeroplane. Why? So that Baba, their center of gravity should be below and it will be stable. Otherwise, suppose this flight is going to be, aeroplane is flying and some disturbance is come, turbulence becomes like that and it is unstable, तो आदमी ऊपर से ऊपर पहुंच जाएगा, right? And that's why most of your luggage, or you can say what, my dear friends, जिसका weight ज्यादा है, it is going to be kept in the lower part of the aeroplane, so that center of gravity should be always and always below the center of buoyancy. Especially we talk about, since it is going to flying, means it is a case of submerged. So here also you talk about that. In case of floating, you can talk. Clear or not that point? Clear, everyone? Well, so keep in mind that point all. Even in the interview, it will going to be help you a lot. Metacentric height should be positive for the stable equilibrium. It will be negative for in case of unstable equilibrium, or it will be zero in case of neutral equilibrium. Someone was asking about that. So keep in mind. That is the next question. Steady flow occurs when velocity does not change, pressure does not change along the flow, condition change gradually with the time, condition do not change with time. What will be answer of that question? Question number 35 on your screen. Question number 35 on your screen. Question number 35 on your screen. What answer I am getting? Yeah, that time where all have given the correct answer, means you guys are well prepared. Huh? Good. If condition not changes with time, this is called is what, my dear friends? STD flow. I am going to be check your concept little bit, then I will come to the next question. Now tell me, my dear friends, this is one of the tank in which water has been filled, right? And this is the pipe. Tell me, and the height of the water is, let's assume height is let's assume constant. Can you tell me, is it steady flow or not? And that is the another case. This is the tank, right? This is the tank, and that time little bit it is going to be like that type of pipe is there, and here again h is constant. Now tell me, which one is STD, which one is unsteady, or both are STD or both are unsteady? What do you think? This is diverging, right? This is case second, this is case first. Tell me which one is STD? Either both are STD, both is unsteady, one STD, another unsteady. What do you think about? Yeah, expected answer. Expected answer it was. Yes, my dear friends, just I want to tell you, both are STD, right? This is also STD, this is also STD. Okay, both are STD. Don't think in STD flow should not change at a point. With respect to point it can change, but at a point flow should not change. So here suppose V is equal to what, 2gh, velocity is 2dh na baba, so h is constant, velocity is same throughout. But here take any one point, because STD talk about a point, not at whole the point. At a point properties should not change with respect to time. Since h is constant, so whatever velocity is there at t equal to 1 second, it will be remains for a longer time. Why? Because h is constant. So it both are STD, don't be confused, right? Both are STD, okay. And uniform non-uniform I will discuss in the upcoming, or next question maybe. Well, that is the next question. In what condition Bernoulli equation is applicable? When you can apply the Bernoulli equation? When you can apply the Bernoulli equation, my dear friends? Tell me the answer of that question. Here I am going to see someone with Bombay, Chennai, Delhi or question. Yeah, but yeah, good thing is that all of you have given the correct. STD, irrotational and incompressible. My dear friends, just keep two things in your mind whenever this is going to be action. Just two things in Bernoulli application can be applicable for: first, flow should be STD. What should be? Flow should be STD. And second, flow should be ideal. These two things only. Rest will be the by default. It will be in your mind. What? It should be STD and ideal flow. Ideal flow means what? Ideal flow is that fluid where viscosity is zero. It is incompressible, irrotational. So for assumption you have to be just keep in mind about the Bernoulli. First, it should be STD. It should be incompressible. It should be irrotational. It should be non-viscous, right? So these four. Ideal you are telling means three things is covered: non-viscous, incompressible, irrotational. Another we can say the STD. So well, you have all have given the right answer. Can you tell me, in the washing machine can I apply the Bernoulli equation or not? You can make a comment. In general Bernoulli equation, each of the term represent what that are going to be represent. Question number 37. Royal, it is not necessarily uniform. Don't make mistake, okay? In Bernoulli equation, each term represent energy in kg meter per kg of mass of the fluid, energy in Newton meter per kg of the fluid, Newton meter per Newton weight of the fluid, and D. What answer you are going to be give? Question number 37. BC is coming, huh? Always keep in mind P upon rho G, specific weight. So P is what? So it is always going to be indicate energy in terms of Newton meter, means joule upon per unit weight. Okay, per unit weight, not A. Generally, even I can denote in the form of A, but generally you write P upon rho G, plus V1 square upon 2G, okay, plus Z1, something like that. So it is energy in Newton meter per unit weight of the fluid, right? So try to keep in mind that thing, my dear friends. Don't make a mistake. Right now, even you can denote in the form of per kg also. Okay, so that is the next question. Flow separation in flow past of solid object is caused by. What is the cause of flow separation? What is the cause of flow separation? Anybody can tell me what is the cause of flow separation? Reduction pressure to the vapor pressure, a negative pressure gradient, positive pressure gradient, the thermal boundary thickness of reducing to zero. What could be answer of that question? Question number 38 on your screen. I am getting all the option here. A, B, C, D, all option is coming. Okay. Pressure, flow separation means what, my dear friends? What do you mean by flow separation? Yeah, good thing is that I am getting more correct answer. See for Chennai, see, listen, I am going to be little bit discuss why you can say. If you talk about pressure gradient, suppose this is the thing, right? Okay, and this is the, let's assume section 1, and this is the, let's assume section 2. This is section 1, this is section 2. If you are going to be moved like that, now tell me what will be pressure, my dear friends? We can say, no sir, as I am moving 1 to 2, what is happening? Pressure increases, na? 1 to 2 pressure increases. Yes sir. Why? Because kinetic energy decreases, so pressure increases. Okay, and you know, as you are moving, what is happening? Velocity decreases, na? So sir, as I am going to moving, velocity decreases. It is something like that. Initially it is high, and after that less. Here now it becomes something zero, and the profile is like, as I go ahead, what is happening? Flow separation takes place. Okay, so whenever, because as you are moving away, the velocity decreases. Once the velocity decreases, flow separation can take place. Always keep in mind, my dear friends, flow separation will take place only and only if the pressure gradient is positive. Because as you move here, dp upon dx, we can say, sir, it is a positive. It is positive. Now, if I will ask, in that case, pressure, velocity separation will take place. In that case, this is the case 1, this is the case 2, and flow is going to be moved like that. No, sir. It is called accelerating flow. It is called accelerating flow. And in accelerating flow, never flow separation can take place. Even we can say, what about pressure, Baba? What about pressure here? Here pressure is positive or negative? Negative, because as I move ahead, what is happening? Kinetic energy increases, na? Those kinetic energy increases because velocity increases, pressure decreases. So always keep in mind, whenever pressure gradient is negative, there is no any problem of the flow separation. Flow separation will take place only and only if the pressure gradient is positive. Can take place, not necessary. One more thing I want to tell you, suppose two case you have, and after that I will come to the next question. Two case. This is the one case, right? Okay, flow is going to be takes place, and that is another case. In the same thing, I am going to tell you. This is the another case, right? Black color. Now tell me, red color is case 1, black color is case 2. In which case more chances of flow separation? In red color or black color? In which case more chances of flow separation? In red color or black color? Right. And that's why, my dear friends, whenever you have seen in your real life, anything, they are going to gradually increasing, not high increasing. Once I increase the high, flow separation will take place, and the flow separation will take place. After that, flow is happening in the backward direction, and it resists the flow. Ultimate flow will not take place. That's why, rather than increasing, and always keep in mind, in case of divergence section, the diverging part is less at a less angle, especially 2 to 3 degree. Generally, I am going to prefer 2 to 3, sometimes 5 degrees also there. More that you cannot do the diverging angle, and that's why in the venturimeter you might have seen diverging part have longer length compared to that of converging part. Why? Because to reduce the chances of flow separation. So that thing, even it is going to be asked. All the things is interconnected. Well, come to the next question, my dear friends. That is the next question. Power transmitted through the pipe will be maximum. Various times I have seen that question has been asked. What is the maximum? What is the condition so that power will be the power transmitted through the pipe will be the maximum when you have some option. Hey, head loss due to the friction. Okay, yes, that time all have satisfied with the option D. Yes, my dear friends, always keep in mind now. Whenever head loss due to friction is 1/3 of the total head loss, that is the case of the, you can say, the maximum condition for the maximum power transmission. Keep in mind, okay? And here it is H equal to H by 3. And what maximum you can get? 67% approximate you can get the maximum. So keep in mind that point also. So that is the next question from the hydraulic machine, my dear friends. And even sir have solved that question in the last class. Right, Rahul. The specific speed of turbine. My dear friends, why I have came that question. Okay, what answer I am getting first? A. What about others? Yeah, that time everyone have given the right answer. Good, because I have seen yesterday sir have solved that question. I came. My dear friends, if you go through in the turbine, if you talk about a specific speed, it is coming at 2b and root under p h ke power 5/4. 5/4. And if you talk about in case of a pump, so in case of pump, if you talk about a specific speed, so it is n root under q upon h ke power what, my dear friends? 3 by 4, right? 3 by 4. So usually student na confusing ki what should answer, my dear friends. Always keep in mind, with the turbine you get power na, with the turbine you get power na, so always keep in mind here it will be the power. With the turbine you are getting power, so here will be the power, and root under p h ke power 5 by 4. But if you talk about pump, so in pump what, sir? From pump I am getting discharge. Are from pump what, I am getting discharge, right now. That's why it is coming q. So never confuse. And usually just think in the book what is happening, first turbine, then pump is given in all the book. So pump have little simply we can think is a turbine have little bit more weightage, so 5 by 4, or in case of pump it will be 3 by 4. That is a simple way. So always don't be confused. In case of turbine you are getting power, so it will be n root under p. In case of pump you are getting discharge, it will be n root under q. Pan you are getting means discharge you are getting, and it will be h ke power 5 by 4, or here h will be h ke power 3 by 4. That way you could be able to remember, right? So what will be answer of that question? That time everyone have given the correct. So this is in case of my dear friends pump, or this is in case of what, my dear friends? This is in case of turbine, and this is in case of pump. Always keep in mind. Okay, we'll see all that thing when I will take the FM question in your another schedule or another batch. Then we can take about. This is the next question. In a reaction turbine, the function of draft tube is 2. What is the function of draft tube in the reaction turbine? What is the function of draft tube in the reaction turbine? Some option you have. Okay, I will ask Mr. Bison. I will ask the team, they will share, don't worry. Question number 41 on your screen. Question number 41 on your screen. What answer I am getting? Question number 41. Chennai. Good. My dear friends, what is the purpose of the draft tube? The purpose of draft tube, convert the kinetic energy to the flow energy, or we can say the pressure energy. It is something like that. That is your diverging section like that. This is your draft tube. It is connected at the outlet of turbine. Let's assume this is your turbine. So it is always connected at the outlet of turbine. Okay, from turbine the water is coming. And always keep in mind, this is going to be convert kinetic energy into pressure energy. Kinetic energy into pressure energy, right? So reconvert the kinetic energy into pressure energy. Sometimes it is going to ask. Sometimes it is going to ask, what is the advantage of using a draft tube? You can say, sir, advantage of using the draft tube, it increases the net head. Sometimes what is the purpose, what is the use of the adding of draft tube? Because of draft tube I am going to be get the more head, means it will be more efficient. So keep in mind that point also. 41 you have given C for Chennai. Good. Okay, that is the question number 42. The efficiency of a centrifugal pump is maximum when the blade are bent backward, bent forward first, and then straight, bent backward and straight. What will be answer at that question? Question number 46. Question number 46 on your screen, my dear friends. Question number 46. Yes. What answer? Right, good. Everyone, bend backward first, and generally back, if you talk about 42, yes, which answer you guys have given? Bent backward. Okay, C for Chennai is the right answer, not straight. Whenever you talk about the power is going to be given, even if you see the fan, there is a fan, it is also bent backward, right? Bent backward will be the right answer. Even ceiling fan, we can see that all are the bent backward. Bent backward, the meaning is that, my difference. This is the meaning is that this will be something like that. Beta, exit angle. Keep in mind, if the exit angle is more than 90, forward vents always connected with the turbine. Okay, that is radial, beta 0, beta less than 90, greater than you can say less than 90. This is called backward vents, going to use in case of pump. This is going to use in case of turbine. Okay, this is going to use in case of turbine, this is going to use in case of pump. So please remember that thing. Okay, this is radial. They don't have much more practical application in case of radial. Okay, well, come to the next question. So try to remember, beta is called exit angle, so that is going to define on the basis of exit angle. In centrifugal pump, cavitation is reduced by, how you can reduce the cavitation? Meter 90, na? It is 0. Let me check. It is 0 given. Oh, sorry, misprint is there. In centrifugal pump, cavitation is reduced by increasing the flow velocity, reducing the discharge, reducing the suction head, throttling the discharge. What will be answer? 43. Chennai. Right. My dear friends, you know, in case of centrifugal, if you always keep in mind, this is your centrifugal pump, right? And this is their vanes. And you have to get the water from there. You have to get the water from there, right? That is the water. And that height from here, you have to lift the water, is called suction head. It's called is what? Suction head. If suppose if suction head is increasing, what is happening? We can say here pressure difference will be the low. Here pressure will be low. How the fluid can flow, my dear friends? How the fluid can flow? We can say there is a high pressure and there will be low pressure. Then fluid will come. Now because of suction action, fluid will come. So if you increase that height, what is happening? There will be requirement of very less pressure, and because of the very less pressure, there is a chance of cavitation. So sometimes that question is also going to ask, in case of pump, centrifugal pump, you talk about where is the chance of cavitation, at the inlet of pump or at the outlet of pump. Always keep in mind, at the inlet of the pump. In case of Francis turbine, cavitation is chances at the outlet of the vanes, but here at inlet, because here you have to be reduce the pressure. So if you want to reduce the chances of cavitation, you have to be reduce the suction head. If it will be low, even little bit high pressure is favorable, and no any cavitation can take place. So C for Chennai. And yeah, good thing is that most of you have given the correct answer, C for Chennai. That is the question from the industrial. Now the question started of the industrial engineering, which is most important, right? So that is the first question. The break-even point represent. What the break-even point represent? Question number 44 on your screen. Even in the that class, you have solved that type of question. The time when industrial unit can run out without loss and profit, right? I think everyone can answer, be able to answer that question. Yeah, it is easy. Everyone can answer. So B for Bombay is the right answer that time. And ये क्वेश्चन मैंने लिया ही था ताकि आपको लगे कि हमसे भी कुछ हो रहा है ना, neither profit nor loss. Yes, that is the next question. Group technology brings together and organize part and simulation analysis, documentation and analysis, automation and tool production, common part and problem and task. What will be group technology brings together? What will be answer question number 45? Question number 45. Chennai, Bombay, Delhi, all option is coming. Option number 45. Documentation analysis. Okay. So right now, group technology, basically that all are in which common parts, problem and tasks are going to be organized. Okay. Technology brings together and organize common parts, problem and tasks. So D for Delhi is the right answer, not others. So industrial, you have to do improvement, do that. Okay, no problem. This is in MRP system. Component demand is forecast, established by the master production schedule, calculated by the MRP system from the master production schedule, or ignored. I think that question, even in the session that I have taken of the industrial, on the industrial a few days back, I have taken that question in that session also. So hopefully you could be able to answer that question. Question number 46, everyone. Question number 46. Yes, I think you guys have remember the session, last session, calculated by the MRP system from the master production schedule. So C for Chennai is the right answer. And good, last time you have gone through that and given the right answer even. Which of the following input data are needed for MRP? I think that is again it is repeated in the last from the last session. What will we answer? Question number 47. Question number 47 now. Question number 47. What answer? Question number 47. Yes, my dear friends. A master production schedule, okay, inventory position, bill of material, all are the right. So that time E for elephant is the right answer. Okay, come to the next question. CMO chart are used when you are going to use the CMO chart. I think I have came with the Jacobian. Don't worry, we will see the question on that. You will see the question on that. Okay. CMO chart are used in when you are going to use the CMO chart. CMO, you know what is the meaning of CMO? Simultaneous motion chart. CMO full form even they can ask. Keep in mind simultaneous motion chart. Simultaneous, SI matlab simultaneous, MO matlab motion chart. So it is called simultaneous motion chart. Basically, this is going to do for the micro study, micro motion study by using the various cameras, capturing the video, capturing the snap, or by making a video you are going to that. So B for Bombay is the right answer. Sibling, yeah, Rahul. CMO means keep in mind their full form also. That is a question number 47 you have that, 48 you have it, 48 you have it. That is a question number 49. Work study deals with how the work study deals. Question number 49 on your screen. 49. Question number 49 on your screen, my dear friends. Improving work study, improving production capability and the technique, present method and finding standard time, motivation of workers, improving production planning and control. No, work study you talk about, my dear friends, but generally improving the production capability and the technique, no, that not necessary, but the improving present method and finding the standard time, that is the main thing in which you are going to be deal. So work study basically deals the before Bombay is the right answer. Okay, not others. Someone have given a wrong answer, make it correct. Try to remember and go through the industrial lectures that I have taken few days back here. An operating characteristics curve, OC curve, is a plot between, how you can curve in which between OC curve is going to be plot. Question number 50. So that will be the half century of you guys. Question number 50. What will be answer? Operating curve, OC curve, how you are going to be draw. 50D. Chennai Delhi is coming. What about others? An operating characteristics curve is plot between percentage of defect and probability of acceptance. Basically, operating curve is going to use in the case of sampling, right? If you have to purchase anything, na, directly you cannot purchase, na. You have to be do the some sampling, na. You will go take some sample and check their desirable property that you required. In that case, you are going to use the OC curve. So percentage defective and the probability of chance to acceptance, in between that OC curve is going to be drawn. Right, x-axis percentage fraction of defective in the lot, y-axis probability acceptance of the lot, and this is something looking like that. So keep in mind, even they may ask what the x-axis and y-axis is going to be represent. So try to remember, x-axis percentage of fraction of defective items and y chance of acceptance. So even they may ask about that thing also. Keep in mind, right? Curve is a sampling, and how sampling plan distinguish between good and bad lots. It is a graph. That is the next question. In sampling, AQL extends 4. Why AQL extends? Tell me. Question number 51. What answer I am getting here? In sampling AQL. Yes, that time everyone have given right answer. Good, no problem. You have better preparation. Some question we can make mistake, don't worry. No need 100% give the correct. Yes, acceptable quality level. In sampling AQL basically talk about the acceptable quality level, not average quality level, that all are not. Actually the answer is what? B for Bombay. Okay, well, come to the next question. That is the next question. Consider the following statement regarding the characteristics of the standard from a linear programming problem. Read all the option, then try to answer that question. Question number 52. What answer you are getting? I think you could be able to answer that question even in the last class. You have discussed about that now. Go through with option A. Option A is what? See, regarding the characteristics of standard form of linear programming problem, LPP, they talk about. Option A, the right hand side of each constant equation is non-negative. Yes, my dear friends, whatever constant you talk about, that is your resources. And if you have to be optimize anything, obviously you must have resources. Now resources cannot be negative. The meaning is that, sir, one is the right. So by default we can say D cannot be answer. D cannot be answer. No, all the decision variable are non-negative. Yes, decision variable in same thing is non-negative. All the constants are expressed in the form of equation. Yes, all the constants you have to be equate in the form of equation. So all are the correct answer. C for Chennai is the right answer that time. Okay, C for Chennai is the right answer. Well, this is the next question. Even you could be able to answer that question. In a transportation problem, the material is transported from 3 plant to 5 warehouse. The basic feasible solution must contain exactly which of the following allocated cell. What will be answer that question? Have you remember m plus n minus 1 or not? Remember m plus n minus 1, that thing is remember allocation. So what will be answer of that question? M plus n. Two thing is there right now. So simply we can say, sir, 5 plus 3 minus 1. How much it is coming out to be? Demand minus 1. Yes, C for Chennai is the right answer. Simply keep in mind m plus n minus 1. Right? Okay. PERT and CPM are what you can say technique to determine project status, decision making technique, aids to determine cost implication of the project. Okay, and option D, adds to the decision maker. What will be answer? Question number 54 on your screen. क्या हो जाएगा इसका आंसर? What answer? Question number 54. Technique to determine project status. No, my dear friends, you are not going to check the product status. No. Schedule हो सकता है, but project का status check करने के लिए I am not going to use the CPM PERT. So if project start ही करने के लिए करना है, status नहीं, A will not the answer. So one lifeline you guys have. A is not the right answer. So what could be? Decision making technique? नहीं. As to determine cost implication, you talk about, my dear friends. CPM talk about the cost. But if you talk about in the case of project, PERT is not depends upon the cost. In the PERT, your main target should be how I will get my target. If I am getting my target, but listen, just even in the last class I have told you, जैसे अपने को कोरोना का वैक्सीन लेना था, तो क्या मैं पैसा देख रहा था या मेरा टारगेट था किसी भी तरीका से कोविड का वैक्सीन मिल जाए? So PERT is probabilistics in the nature. So here cost is not a major factor. Yes, in the CPM it is a major factor, but since question is talk about both CPM, PERT both, so as to determine cost simplification of the product, that should not be right. Yes, for the PERT CPM it is right, but not for the PERT, not for the PERT, right? Adds to the decision maker. T for Delhi, I will go, and D will be the better answer according to all that. In the PERT, a cost is not a major factor. Your factor is result. And anything, since it is going to use the research and development, so research and development main is your result. My dear friends, I think you could answer that question very easily. You have to be tell about the critical path, right? What will be answer? Visible, na? Tell me, is it visible to all? Visible, na? So project consists activity A to M, right? Shown in the net in the figure below the and below which the duration of the activity is marked in the day. The project can be completed. Means you talk about the critical path or minimum time in which you can deliver the project. That project. Answer that question. अरे बताओ क्या हो जाएगा इसका आंसर? हाउ मच इट इज कमिंग? क्वेश्चन नंबर 55. मैक्सिमम टाइम यू हैव टू बी कैलकुलेट ना, 60 to 70 days. हाँ, अरे ये तो गलती से भी नहीं आना चाहिए था, ये तो गलती से भी नहीं आना चाहिए था. What will be answer about next student? See, go through the different path, my dear friends, right? See, these days you can say if you are going to A, E, some you go through everyone. So 2 plus 5, you can choose the different path, and one path will get in which you are getting maximum time. Okay, so it will be the 24 to 26 days. So C for Chennai is the right answer, not B for Mumbai. C for Chennai. Here I have given with the diagram, even we can say maximum will be CFKM. CFKM. This is coming out to be 24. CFKM. Go through that. It is coming out to be 24. Other option you can also go through. You can go C. इसके बाद GL. You can go through like that. You can go through A, E, GL. You can go through A, E, Km and check all of that and see the maximum value what it is coming out to be, and it will be the answer. So maximum it is coming out to be 24. So whenever you have to be decide the critical path, or you can say the project duration of the project duration, so check, go the different path and check in which path it is taking maximum time, and whatever maximum time they are taking, it will be called is what? Project duration, or you can say critical path also. Well, that is the next question. In that question you can say Delphi method is used for, already you have discussed, technological forecasting, developing new projects, acquiring new capacity, and penetrating new market, all of the above. When you have to be used? Question number 56 on your screen. Question number 56. Technological forecasting, developing new project. Yes, that time you can say sir Delphi technique जो होता है ये सभी में यूज करते हैं हम लोग, है ना? तो A, B, C all are the correct answer. So D for Delhi is the right. Okay, easily you could be able to solve that question. Economical lot side is going to be asked. Annual demand of the product is given, right? Annual demand is given 100 per piece, 900. Ordering cost is given. Okay, holding cost is given. The economical order quantity you have to calculate. So can you calculate economical order quantity? Calculate or not? Tell me, my dear friends. How you can calculate economical order quantity? This is called root under 2D C naught upon CH. Easy numerical. So annual demand, so capital D is given. Annual demand for a product costing 100 per piece is 900. So annual demand is 900. Ordering cost per order, so CO is 100, and the holding cost 2 rupees 2 per unit per year. So CH is given 2. So just solve that question, my dear friends. it is coming out to be 2 900 into 100 upon 2. 300 is answer is coming out to be, na? 300. Everyone is getting 300. 300 will be the right answer. B for Bombay is the right answer. Simple question, that way you have to remember. Triple TT, yeah, that is the things that you have discussed in the last or yesterday even. Na? Yesterday you have discussed all that. So TTT diagram indicate time, temperature and transformation of cementite, pearlite, ferrite, austenite or none of the above. What will be answer of that question? 58. That time you all are going to give the right answer, austenite, right? So D for Delhi is the right answer. And you are getting martensite also from that segment now. Time, temperature, transformation. That is the next question. The effective number of lattice point is the within cell of a simple body centered cubic and face centered cubic space lattice respectively are. The effective number of atoms basically you have to be calculate in all that. Simple cubic, body centered and face centered. What will be answer, my dear friends? 1 2 2 1 2 4 2 3 4 2 4 4. I think all of you are going to give the right answer that time also again. 59, na? ठीक है दोस्त. See, in case of simple cubic, it is coming 1. In case of body centered, 1 plus 1, it is coming out to be 2. And in case of cubic center, face centered, it is coming out to be 4. So 1 2 4. Good. Here I have given, as I told you, remember A and R relation. Remember, okay? And that all thing. AF coordination number 6 8 12. Simple cubic 6, BCC 8 and 12. The percentage of carbon in eutectoid steel. That thing is going to ask. Answer that question. What answer is coming out to be, my dear friends? क्या आ रहा है? 43. Sorry, 60. That time D for Delhi everyone means याद है आपको कल की क्लास याद है. गुड. ऐसे याद रखो, क्वेश्चन यहीं से आना है, इसी सब से आना है. So D for Delhi is the right answer, 60. Even everything is written there, right? So go through and just read. Rockwell reading is measure of the penetration caused by minor load, major load, both major and minor load, none of the above. What will be question number 61? Rockwell hardness test you talk about. Minor or major or both? Question number 61 on your screen. Rockwell, you talk about major load, not the minor right now. Major load you talk. Generally, I am going to talk about the major load, not the minor, okay? So, you are going to take P. P was the major load. P now, it was major. So, it is going to be talk about major load only. So, B for Bombay is the right answer. Okay, that is the next question. What are the constituents of phosphor bronze? I have taken that question. Just I want to check कि आप कितना सोच पा रहे हो. Just I want to check कि आप कितना सोच पा रहे हो in that question. Right? Yes, my dear friends. Bronze. How many letters is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it is made by 5 letters. So copper plus TIN. So copper and tin should be there. As copper, zinc comes under the category of brass. So the correct answer is, my dear friends, C for Chennai. Na? And yes, there should be phosphorus also. C for Chennai is the right answer, 62. Question number 63. Anisotropic material are having. What do you mean by anisotropic material? Anisotropic material. How you are going to define the anisotropic material? Anybody? एनिसोट्रॉपिक मटेरियल यू टॉक, एनिसोट्रॉपिक ना, सो क्या होता है, yes my dear friends, that time again same property at all point in all direction, no, different property at different location, different property at a point in all direction, yes, before Mumbai you guys have given, and it is what wrong, huh? Material property such as elasticity, thermal conductivity, strength that vary with direction at same point in a material, right, same property at a point in all direction, this is called isotropic material. Different property at different location describe non-homogeneous material, same property at different location, this is called homogeneous material. And in anisotropic what is happening, so always keep in mind if you talk about anisotropic material, different property at a point in all direction, so that is the meaning of anisotropic material. So 63 answer will be C for Chennai, not B for Bombay. Chalo, good. In engineering stress strain curve of mild steel, the ultimate tensile strength UTS refers to. How UTS is going to be referred? Question number 64 on your screen. Question number 64. You know? No, yeah, that time how you are going to give the wrong. D for Delhi, na? Maximum stress condition, right? Maximum. Even you see that diagram, na? Yeah. See, this is the stress strain curve, na? So this is the UTS. After that you are getting. So maximum. D for Delhi is the right answer. That is the question. Plug gauge are used to measure. That is the question from the metrology. That is the question from what? Metrology. So what will be answer question number 65? Already we have discussed question number 65. Plug gauge. Diameter of hole, na? As I told you, have you remember the technique? You forget the technique also. Have you technique? Plug. Plug का shaft क्या होता है जी? Circular ना? तो ये hole कि में you are going to check the hole dimension, right? So check the diameter of the hole in the workpiece. So even earlier you have discussed about that question also. So C for Chennai is the right answer, not B, my dear friends. Measure. It is going to be check, not measure. Already you have discussed lot of times about that. Class, YouTube, everywhere. How many grade of tolerance are specified according to BIS? How many grade of tolerance? 18, 20, 16 or 24? Yes, A for apple, 18. My dear friends, still you have to discuss ED, left, more subject is left, okay? Just keep patience. So 18 is the right answer, just try to remember. The type of bonding in the ceramic, which type of bond you are going to find in the ceramic? Purely covalent, predominantly covalent with a small ionic character, predominantly ionic and a small covalent character, or purely ionic. In case of ceramic, right? The question is going to ask about the ceramic. What will be answer about the ceramic? Ceramic, na? What will be answer question number yes, my dear friends, always keep in mind if you talk about ceramic, na, right, if you talk about ceramic, generally nature is ionic with a small covalent in the nature, okay? So predominantly there is an ionic character and a small covalent character. Keep in mind that point. Going to ask more ionic and less. Yes, Sarmaji, you are right. So C for Chennai is the right answer, okay? If I talk about composite material, if you talk about composite, then what will be answer? Rather than ceramic, if you talk about composite, you can answer that question again. That is the next question, my dear friends. This is from the jigs and fixtures, right? This is from the jigs and fixtures. So a device which hold and locate the workpiece during an inspection or for a manufacturing operation is known as fixture, jig, lathe, or templates. What you can define? Question number 68. क्लास में मैं कितना डिटेल में बात किया था इसका? Again, classroom guys are going to give the wrong answer. I am not believe. Huh? A device which hold and locate the workpiece during the inspection for the manufacturing operation. Yes, classroom. B4, Rolex. This is called picture. Right. This is called what? Picture. 68. Huh? Simply a device which hold and locate the workpiece during the inspection. This is called what? Fixture. Fixture is a structure locating, holding and supporting the component of workpiece securely. So keep in mind, jigs and fixtures, you have seen lot of question in the classroom, even their differences also. So my difference, just give 1 minute. I think now I have to be what? Cut from there. Right. Yes, that is the question from CNC. That is the question from CNC. 100 question today. In CNC, I think that question you can able to answer. G02. What the G02 represent? What G02 represent? Linear interpolation, clockwise, circular, incremental or absolute? Only one option is there. No one can confuse in that question. Na? Yeah, that time no option. There should be one should be anti-clockwise. Then a student may confuse. Right time no one can no that time no one can confuse. Especially जो YouTube पे भी देखा हो या classroom का भी हो. Linear interpolation किसके लिए होता है? Can you tell me what code you are going to use for the linear interpolation? Anybody can tell me linear interpolation कौन सा code use करते हो? Huh? What code you are going to use in case of linear? Anybody have remember? Yes, good. Incremental absolute 1991. Remember here all that. Even I have earlier completed all that segment. Please try to remember. G01 linear, G02 clockwise, G03 anti-clockwise circulation, 90 absolute or 91 incremental, 20 inch, 21 20 G20 inch or 21 mm. That code only you have to remember. Okay. Linear G00, G00. This is dual. G00 dual, G01 linear, G02 circular, G03 circular anti-clockwise. This is clockwise. G90 absolute, G91 incremental, G20 cutting in the inch, G21 mm. Right? That you have to remember all that. Okay. So that is the next question. During the ultrasonic machining, the metal remover is achieved by. That is the third time I am going to take that question. Earlier over the YouTube, before that in the classroom. And that time again I am here with the same question. Abhi, what will be answer question number 70? Question number 70 you talk about, my dear friends. Hammering action of the abrasive particle, na? Good. That time, no, yaar. High frequency ED current, no. This is going to give you confused like the guys who haven't, जो पढ़ा नहीं है, उसके लिए ऑप्शन ए है, उसको लग जाएगा अच्छा अल्ट्रासाउंड की बात हो रही है, कुछ तो फ्रीक्वेंसी वगैरह होगा और ये ऑप्शन ए बी के साथ जाएगा. ये आपको ही कंफ्यूज करने के लिए दिया है, जो थोड़ा बहुत मतलब ऐसे ही अंदाज लगा के आंसर करना चाहता है. Abrasive particle is there, and now and accordingly you are going to adjust their size to change the material removal rate gap. So okay, little bit I have to be zoom out, right? So that it should be visible. So I zoom now. Visible? Tell me. Visible, guys? Visible, no? Match list 1 and list 2. List 1, list 2 you have to match. Question number that on your screen. Question number 71 on your screen. You have to match. What will be answer? That time same option, same answer that I was quote earlier. वही है जो पहले था, क्वेश्चन भी है, आंसर भी है, ऑप्शन भी है. Yes, my dear friends, you have remember A. If you talk about USM, so you are going to use what? Abrasive slurry, abrasive material. So it is with the B. If you talk about EDM, so we can say EDM. You are going to use the kerosene. Na? If you talk about ECM, so ECM, salt solution, electron beam machining, vacuum, right? That is a crossway, and easily you could be able to answer that question. Okay, that is the next question. Directional property can be imparted to the metal in case of cold working, hot working, warm, or both hot and cold. Directional property you have to be get. In which case you will get the ITS, ITS UG. I will talk to the management and they will help you out. They will help you out in that things. Okay, when that thing will be going to be conducted. What you are going to give the answer? You know, if nothing is mentioned, na, you can go through at the cold working. I have told in the class at a higher temperature we can get about the hot. Otherwise, we can go through with the cold working unless and until it is not going to talk about the higher, more and more temperature. तब तक आप cold working के साथ जाओगे. The operation coining is very similar to coining, offset forging, swagging, open die forging, or flashless forging. How you can define the coining? Coining is related to what, my dear friends? Coining is related to what? Coining is basically related to what, my dear friends? Flashless forging, na? Or open die? No, open die forging, no. Coining is regarding to what? This is comes under the category of flashless forging. Keep in mind, this is related to flashless forging. Everything is written, okay. This is next internal gear cutting operation. Now I think everyone can answer. Milling, shaping with rack cutter, shaping with pinion cutter, or hobbing. Internal gear cutting you have to be get. Internal gear cutting. That time I see how many student is going with option D. I want to be just check कि कितना बच्चा D के साथ जा रहा है. No one. क्या बात कर रहे हो? हाँ. Yes, my defense. Never. गलती से भी D मत लगा देना. Hobbing is not for the internal gear, right? The correct answer is what? Shaping with pinion cutter, not rack cutter. Shaping with the pinion cutter is the right answer. So C is right, not B, not A. Right? Okay. Even milling can be used, but here internal gear cutter, shaping with the pinion cutter is the right. Hobbing for external, not for internal. I have discussed all the things earlier in the session. If you have remember, if you forgetting, then no problem. Thread cutting with a single point tool or thread casting. Question number 75. So 2/3 of the journey you have completed. 2/3 of the journey, right? No, only 25 questions left, which is from the ED, from the FEM, from the machine design. These three subject is left. So I will see their question. Question 75. Question number 75. What will be answer, my dear friends? Question number 75. Yeah, thread cutting with a single point tool? No, yeah, no. Quality screw thread. You am going to use the thread milling. What? Milling process you are going to use in case of quality screw thread. So A for apple is the right answer, not others. That is the next question. I think everyone, that is a question from the metal cutting. In a tool where a static cement, it is found that doubling the cutting speed reduce the tool life to 1/8 of the original. The Taylor tool life index, you have to be calculate what is the value of N. 3/4, yes. 3/4 journey, Rahul, good. Making me correct, right? What answer is coming out to be? Everyone, question number 76 on your screen. Simple, use the Taylor type true life equation. No, Taylor true life equation. You have, remember, v t ke power n equal to constant, where n you have to be calculate, right? So what value you are getting? B D B D B D. No one have given. Who have? Answer is what, my defense? B for Bombay is the right answer. Here we can say V2 equal to twice of V1, T2 equal to T1 upon 8. Just put the value V1 T1 V1 T1 ke power n is equal to V2 T2 ke power n, and by using that, this is T1. Just put the value, and after that we'll get the answer is coming out to be 3n equal to 1 equal to n equal to 1 by 3. So B for and try to remember, na, Vt ke power n equal to constant Taylor true life equation. One question we can expect from that segment. Okay. In oblique cutting metal, the cutting edge of the tool is. Now I think everyone can answer that question. In oblique cutting of metal, the cutting edge of the tool. What should be cutting edge of the tool? What should be cutting edge of the tool, my dear friends? In oblique cutting edge, inclined at an angle 90 to the direction of the tool, parallel to the direction of perpendicular direction of tool, perpendicular to the workpiece. What will be answer of that question? Question number 77. Yes, inclined at angle 90 degree to the direction of tool. At any angle other than 90 is going to be inclined. So it is comes under the category of cutting edge of the oblique cutting. Even in the oblique cutting, not perpendicular, D, not perpendicular. No, perpendicular we can see in the orthogonal. Cutting edge is perpendicular to the cutting edge in case of orthogonal, not in the oblique. Okay. Okay, I think everyone can answer that question. This is from the welding. In DC reverse polarity arc welding, how you can define reverse polarity arc welding in case of in DC? Anybody can tell me? Very easy question. Reverse polarity, workpiece is made negative and the electrode is made positive. Option A, workpiece is made positive, made negative, both negative, both positive. What will be answer? Everyone have given, na? Yes, my dear friends. If you talk about reverse polarity, what, this is your workpiece, this is your electrode. Here electrode going to be connected with the positive terminal, electrode with the negative terminal. This is DC power source, right? And you know 2/3 of heat is going to be generated over the electrode, 1/3 over the workpiece. Keep in mind all that point. B is the right answer. Workpiece is made negative and electrode is made positive. Good. Electrode is made positive or workpiece is made negative. This, can you use that for the TIG? Can you use that reverse polarity in case of TIG? Is it favorable or not? Using the reverse polarity in the TIG, is it favorable? Deposition rate will be the less, right? Obviously, in that case, in reverse polarity, you will get the more deposition rate. State polarity is less. No, you cannot use. Good. The brazing process is carried out at a temperature range. In which temperature range you can carry the brazing operation? What is the temperature range in which you are going to be carried the brazing operation? Dekho, generally, if you know more than 450 should be more than 450 degrees Celsius. But okay, you go through the option, then what you can say? It should be more than 450 na. So one option is going to be failed. You can say C4 Chennai. Otherwise, it should be more than 450. But yeah, see, B, and always keep in mind my difference. B for brazing, B means bigger. As I have told in the class, B means bigger, na, bigger. So whenever temperature more than 450 means bigger, it will be brazing. One is soldering. S means shorter, smaller. Less than 450 is called soldering. That is the next question. Hot tears are formed in the casting because of, why hot tears you are getting in the casting? Yes, hot tears formed in the casting. Why you are getting hot tears in case of casting? हॉट टीयर्स मतलब क्या बोलते हो जी हिंदी में आप लोग जो बोलते हो गरम आंसू ना यू नो व्हाई यू आर गेटिंग गरम आंसू uniform cooling rate at high metal at high differential. Yes, hot tears is basically due to differential cooling rate na. Hot tears is basically differential cooling rate and low strength metal at a higher temperature. So B for Bombay is the right answer दोस्त, not A. ओके सो देखो एक बार रिवाइज करो चीजें को, है ना, एक बार अच्छा से थोड़ा रिवाइज कर लो, गलती कर रहे हो आप लोग. हॉट टीयर्स, सो डिफरेंशियल कूलिंग रेट एंड द लो स्ट्रेंथ मेटल एट हायर टेम्परेचर, इन दैट केस यू आर गेटिंग द हॉट टीयर्स. इंपॉर्टेंट है. कास्टिंग डिफेक्ट you have to be revised once fast. Casting defect you have to be revised. Next, pouring basin is provided in the sand molds. Pouring basin to reduce the turbulence in the liquid, maintain high temperature liquid metal to increase the flow rate to improve the property of sand. What will be question number 81? Question number 81. Pouring basin provided in the sand mold. Why you are going to be provide that? 81 answer everyone. That time all are right, huh? Pouring basin to reduce the turbulence in the liquid metal, right? No, so directly if you are going to be poured the molten metal, lot of problem you can find. That's why I am going to use the pouring basin and all that. इतना गंदा फिगर कौन बनाता है बताओ. Okay, so yeah, right answer, reduce the turbulence in the liquid metal. A for apple is the right answer. Well, question number 82 on your screen. The plane, okay, that is the question from engineering drawing. The plane of projection which lies horizontal in front of the observer is called vertical plane, horizontal plane, auxiliary plane, or profile plane. What you can say? Question number 82 on your screen from the engineering drawing. The plane of projection which lie horizontal in front of the observer. This is called what, my dear friends? This is called which plane? This is called vertical plane, right? Everyone have given A for apple. This is called VP, means vertical plane. Go try to remember. Earlier, last year, they have asked question from that segment in BEL. So remember that point. Well, that is the next question. In an orthogonal projection, the angle between the principal projection plane, that means HP and VP, that is easy question. All can answer. Horizontal vertical plane, what will be answer? Anyone can answer that question. There is no need of any special knowledge for that question. No? Everyone can say. Again, someone is telling here, what will be answer of that question? 90 degree. Na? BP and HP will be at the 90 degree. So yeah, 83 it was easy question. So sometimes it comes like that. Na? जो आपको पता होता है, आराम से कर सकते हो आप. In the development of right circular cone, you have to get the right circular cone, right? The lateral surface is unfolded into, lateral surface को जब unfold करोगे, कुछ cone बनाना है आपको, है ना? Right angle, so like that, ना? Right angle cone you have to make, right? So, and you are going to be uncut the lateral part, then how it will look like? Circle, rectangle, a sector of circle, or a polygon? What it is look like? A sector of circle? That time again, you guys are right now. A sector of the circle will find, not the whole circle. Base could be the whole circle, but that unfolded part will be that. So C for Chennai is the right answer. Good. ठीक है, ED सही जा रहे हो. That is the next question. Which of the following projection is used to show the internal feature of a part in an engineering drawing? Perspective projection, orthographic projection, sectional projection, or isometric projection? Question number 85 on your screen. Tell me, perspective projection, orthographic, sectional projection, or isometric? What it is called? This is called what, my dear friends? Yeah, sectional. That time it is going to pass by the majority. Sectional projection. So C for Chennai is called right answer. So good. Here everything I have written. To show the internal features components such as holes, cavity, etc. Imaginary cut by section plane and surface on. This method is called sectional projection, or you can say the sectional view. 85. Okay, question number 86 from the FEM. For 1D axial bar element under the uniform loading, the shape function are linear, quadratic, cubic, or constant. 1D axial bar you have. What will be answer of that? क्वेश्चन नंबर ओके, इस बार तुम लोग ना अंदाज लगा रहे हो, है ना? मतलब भाई चलो कुछ तो लगाना है दैट टाइम, कुछ तो लगाना है, ए बी सी डी इन द दैट क्वेश्चन आई हैव टेकन फ्रॉम द ई बुक, राइट? So simply we can say 1D it is coming first order and it will be the linear projection. So 86 A for apple is the right answer, not others. In the ebook clearly we have gone through that question. Yeah, the Jacobian matrix in the weak form of 1D finite element problem maps in nodal displacement natural to global coordinate. Jacobian matrix you are going to be taught, na? Jacobian matrix. What will be answer at that, my dear friends? Question number 87. That is again from the ebook. Jacobian matrix, the weak form of 1D finite element problem map natural to global coordinate. What? Natural to global coordinate. B for Bombay is the right. Okay, मुझे पता है. अभी आप लोग अंदाज लगा रहे हो कि चलो. Okay, 2-3 question will come from FED, FEM, and 2-3 you can expect from the ED. As you analysis the last year question last year. So be ready for that. That is the next question on the screen. Which of the following method is commonly used to solve the system of equation generate in finite element method? Which of the following method commonly used to solve the system of equation generate in the finite element method? Newton-Raphson method, you know, Gaussian, Euler, or Monte Carlo? What you are going to be used? In case of FEM, to solve a problem, basically you are going to use the Gaussian elimination. Mainly it is going to be used. Newton-Raphson method, it is an iterative technique. By that you are getting the solution. But here it is going to use the Gaussian elimination. So B for Bombay is the right answer. This is the question number 89. In 1D FEM displacement field is linear element is constant, linear, quadratic, or exponential. That is again question from ED. And I have taken that book question again from the book displacement field linear element itself. It will be what? Linear. It will be itself a linear. So okay, now I will come to the machine design. Now the question is from the machine design. That is the question from the machine design. Factor of safety is the ratio of, what will be factor of safety? What will be factor of safety? So now the question of from the what? Machine design. Factor lower yield point upon working stress, ultimate upon working, upper yield upon working, ultimate upon lower yield. I am going to be see most of you are going to give the wrong safety. Factor of safety is the ratio of, listen my dear friends, if nothing is mentioned now, by default you have to be consider it is a ductile material. Okay, if nothing is mentioned in the question, you know, talk about, if you talk about brittle, then obviously it will be the ultimate you talk about in the case of brittle. But generally you talk about nothing is mentioned, you have to be considered ductile material. Keep in mind, in this question it is not mentioned, you have to be considered ductile material. So this is lower yield upon working stress. Yes my dear friends, A for apple is the right answer, because even in the last class I have told you, if you go through the stress tension curve, upper yield and lower yield, always I am getting lower yield. Upper yield चूंकि ये sharp होता है, upper yield something happening like that, so this is sharp, I am not getting. So ultimate yield upon working, yield means lower yield point. So correct answer is what? A for apple. Ultimate upon working, it will be if in the question they talk about the brittle material. Otherwise no. Upper yield I am not getting in case of tensile test. Ultimate upon lower yield, that is meaningless. So keep in mind. Okay. Question number 91. If the size of a standard specimen for a fatigue testing machine is increased, then indolence limit of the material will. What will be indolence limit if size is going to be increased? Tell me answer everyone. If the size of a standard specimen for fatigue testing machine increase, then indolence limit of the material increases, number of roughness will increase, right? If the size of the fatigue testing machine will increase, the endurance limit of material decrease, na? Yes, C for Chennai, means everyone have remember, that is a good thing. Chennai is the right answer. Decrease, yes, good, means you have remember the machine design, that's good. A cutter joint used to connect two rods which are in compression only, tension only, shear only. What will be question number 92 on your screen? A cutter joint is used to connect two rods which are in compression, tension. Yes, either it is tension or compression, both. Cutter joint you talk about, it could be compression or tension, both. So B for Bombay is the right answer. Cutter joint have you seen ना यार? हाँ, ऐसे करके कुछ टैपर्ड होता था, याद है? कुछ टैपर्ड, फिर इसको एक होल में डालना होता था. So it can take tension and compression both. Yes, if you talk about knuckle joint, then it will be tension only. If you talk about knuckle pin, so knuckle pin, then will be tension only. But in the cutter, tension, compression both we can observe. Okay, so that is the next question. Which key is preferred for the condition where large amount of impact torque is to be transmitted in both the direction of rotation? Both direction of rotation is going to be torque. Option order of feather, give head key or tangent key. What will be answer? 93 on your screen. Question number 93 on your screen, my dear friends. Answer everyone. Yes, my dear friends, good. This is called tangent key, right? What is the tangent key? What is happening? 2 at a 90 degree, right? Good. So yeah, that all you have discussed in the class in the very details, my dear friends. Okay, someone can say, sir, you are not going to discuss in very details. It will take a long time. Even day after tomorrow your exam. One more thing, my dear friends, I want to tell you. After the exam, I will do the analysis. Our team will be there, and I will do the analysis, like what was the question pattern, what could be the cutoff. Okay, and how I can judge. You have to share your question, whatever memory based question you have to be share chat box में भी, और हमारा जो ग्रुप है उसमें भी आपको जो भी क्वेश्चन याद है आप हमें भेज सकते हो, एंड विल डू द एनालिसिस विद द सेम टाइम. हाँ, डे आफ्टर टुमारो ना, रोलेक्स आई टोल्ड डे आफ्टर टुमारो, नॉट टुमारो, राइट? सो परसों ही हम लोग शाम में इसी टाइम मिलेंगे 5-6 बजे, देख लेंगे, आपको मैं शेड्यूल बता दूंगा ग्रुप में, एंड यू हैव टू बी शेयर द मेमोरी बेस्ड क्वेश्चन, and then you will be able to analyze what could be the cutoff and what is the question pattern, and आपने कितना सही किया है. And yes, once the answer key will come, then we will go through the challenge कि which question can be challenged, right? And I will give the resources whatever is required. I means we, YourPedia will give you, not only me, right? So keep in mind about that. 93 D4 Delhi is the right answer. Question number 94 on your screen. A hook joint used to connect. When you are going to use the hook joint? Hook joint is used to connect coplanar non-parallel shaft, non-coplanar non-parallel shaft, coplanar parallel shaft, and some option you have. What will be answer? Question number 94 on your screen. Hook joint is going to use coplanar and non-parallel shaft. Plane is same, but that are not parallel. Plane is same, but it is not parallel. Coplanar and non-parallel shaft you are going to connect by the hook joint. So A for apple is the right answer, those, not B for Bombay. Non-coplanar, none. In that case, you can go through the what, my defense? Oldham coupling. If you have remember for option B, we can go through Oldham. Okay. चलो मुझे एक बार ना यहाँ से काटना पड़ेगा, जस्ट गिव 1 minute. 6 questions left. Okay, just give 1 minute, my defense. I think na there is some problem in the laptop. Need to make it better. दिखाता हूँ इसको फिर. अभी BDL में नया करना है इसको. चलो, good. Right? 94 you guys have given. Well, question number 95 on your screen. The efficiency of a screw jack is maximum. What is the condition so that the efficiency will be maximum in case of a screw jack? All the thing we have did in the class, right? What you are getting? Question number 95 on your screen. 45 minus 5 by 2, right? Yes, you can get the maximum if option B is the right answer. Keep in mind, alpha is helix angle, phi is friction angle or angle of friction, and you will get the maximum efficiency alpha equal to 45 minus 5 by 2. Well, 95 you guys have given. Question number 96 on your screen. Caulking and full ring. What is the purpose of caulking and full ring? What is the purpose of caulking and full ring, my dear friends? As I told you, in case of riveted joint, what is the major problem? In case of riveted joint, major problem is the leakage. Major problem is leakage. So if you have remember, in riveted joint, to overcome that problem, I am going to use that. No one have given the right answer, Baba, till now. What you guys are going to do? What about classroom student? Huh? What you are going to do? Caulking and full ring process. Obtain leak proof riveted joint. Caulking and full ring going to do in the riveted joint. And to leak proof, not E. Cool the bearing, huh? D. Yeah, D is given. Okay, everyone is given D. Okay, yeah, fine. Actually, I was thinking you are going to give answer E. Yeah, fine. D is the right answer to obtain the leak proof riveted joint. Good. वही तो मैं सोच रहा था इतना कैसे गलती कर सकता है स्टूडेंट वो भी क्लासरूम का. This is the next question. If load on the ball bearing is half its life, that is the question from the bearing. That is question from the bearing. Have you remembered the life equations? याद है 97. Yes, L is equal to, see the life equation and try to remember C upon P के power 3. Actually it is L equal to C upon P के power K. K equal to 3 for ball bearing, K equal to 10 upon 3 in case of roller bearing. So Cp, rest thing is same. You are going to, so C for a given bearing, catalog lead capacity, or you can say catalog load, C is catalog load, it will be constant. So simply we can say, sir, L is proportional to 1 upon P ke power 3 in case of ball bearing. So we can say Lp is equal to 3 equal to constant. So simply we can say L1 P1 ke power 3 is equal to L2 P2 ke power 3. Now put the value and we'll get the answer. It is coming out to be 8 times. L2 equal to that. Right. Question number 98. Now I think everyone can answer. Question number 98. What will be answer question number 98, my dear friends? Starting friction is low. Hydrostatics, hydrodynamic or mix? Yes, my dear. Starting friction is always less in case of hydrodynamic. Hydrostatics, okay? In case of hydrodynamic and dynamic, initially there is a metal to metal contact, so we will get the huge amount of friction. Yes, aerostatics will be the least, Rahul. Even I have discussed in the class. If it is option aerostatics, then answer will be the aerostatics. So right now, hydrostatics lubrication. Next, creep in the belt is due to, that is the BEML 2025 question. BEML 2025 question it was. What will be answer? Question number 90. Question number 99. मैं 99 पे आ गया. No, he came with the T. Uneven extension contraction. Yes, my dear friends. Uneven, na? C for Chennai. मैं ना सुनो BDL के लिए in the BDL batch it will be in the Hindi. I will come the machine design 150 120 question. Don't worry. And SOM also. So uneven extension contraction due to the varying tension is the main cause of the creep. So C for Chennai is the right answer. Question number 100, and yeah, it will be the last. A body of weight 50 Newton kept on a plane inclined at angle 30 degree to the horizontal. It is in limiting equilibrium. The coefficient of friction is equal to, what will be the coefficient of friction? What will be the coefficient of friction? Question number 100 on your screen. One upon root 3. 1 upon 50 root 3. Okay, in the option. Everyone, what C यार, C कैसे दे रहे हो? 1/50 थोड़ी ना होगा. You know, a body of weight 50 Newton kept on inclined plane. So this is something like that. There is a 50 Newton body, right? Mg 50 will act downward. Okay, one will be at angle 30 degree. So here will be mg sin theta. So it will be 50 sin theta. Huh? And it is limiting friction. So one here it will be the frictional force, right? Mu into n, and it has two component. It will be here. This is 50 cos theta, 50 cos of theta. And you know, my dear friends, what will be normal? Normal always act perpendicular to the contacting surface. So this is the normal force. A normal force equal to 50 cos 30. So put the value here. The coefficient of friction is equal to. So we can say, sir, if it is moving, so I can say 50 sin 30. This is the downward force equal to friction force. Friction force is equal to mu into n, right? And all the data you have to be calculate mu. So mu will be 50 sin 30 upon n is what? 50 cos 30. 50 cos 30, right? 1030 means 1 upon root 3, and A for apple is the right answer. Simple question it was. If it is going to be asked, be ready, right? Okay. And simply even you can say 1030 itself, even since it is limiting condition, so simply we can say mu equal to 1030. Since it is in the limiting condition, simply we can say chalo theek hai. Thank you, Rolex. So my dear friends, in that way, whatever we can do for you, you have did, right? Lot of marathon. All the class was 3 hours long, है ना? It was 3 hours and more that long, and yeah, आपका भी patience was really appreciable. But now that is the things, that is the time when you have to be delivered in the exam. My dear friends, just keep one thing in your mind when you are going to sit in the exam. Handle your pressure now. What pressure? If you go in the exam now, there could be chances few questions you will not able to solve. So don't worry, take it very lightly, because I have seen a lot of time a student goes in the exam and sees some few questions, and after that they are making perception, oh, question are tougher, I am not able to solve. First approach that you have to do in the exam, when you are going to give any exam, first you must have positive attitude. How you can make a positive attitude? Positive attitude means you, when you see the question, जब आप क्वेश्चन देखते हो, एक दिल से आवाज आना चाहिए, one sound come your heart, or you can say okay, I can do that question. Be cool. नहीं बनेगा, be cool and go all the questions. Okay, तो ऐसा नहीं करना. And yeah, try to be cool if you are not. And one more thing, my dear friends, time management will be crucial role here. So don't give much more time on a single questions. If you find okay, it is taking long time, by reading the question, by the practice you can get. And if you are getting that long time it is going to be take, leave for the rest questions. Okay, leave for the last time. If you are getting time, go through, otherwise in the same time you could be able to solve a lot of questions. And yeah, it is the part of planning, it is the part of question. You can see some numerical could be there and it will be the very very lengthy, so it will take you 4 to 5 minutes, and I don't think it is good. So numerical question, if anything, so try to solve all the theoretical question first, then come on the numerical if there is numerical. If not there, no problem. And always stay positive during the exam. Don't think okay, I am not able to do this, is difficult, that, all that. Okay, be cool. Whatever you have read, trust on the God, and if you have really done the hard work, I am telling you, you will get the result. Okay, so that all about, my dear friends. And yeah, as I told you, I will meet with you again on the 20th of December. 20 दिसंबर को हम लोग फिर मिलेंगे. Do the analysis, we'll see what could be cut off and how much you have solved. And for that, I will expect your memory based question, whatever you have remember, you can either share over my WhatsApp group, or even अगर आपके पास मेरा number है, you can share me directly, or even the chat box also you can give. Okay, yes, just after the class I am going to provide the PDF in case of in your group. नो राइट, नो राहुल, अभी जिस पे एग्जाम दियो वहां फोकस करो. हाँ, डोंट डू अभी ना पूरी तरीका से जो BEL उस पे फोकस करो, वो सब बात की बातें देखेंगे. Okay, so that you, my dear friends, good luck. Thank you, and yeah, good luck. Okay, and stay positive. Damn sure you guys have done lot of work since the last 1.5 months. So I'm sure your result will be good and you will get succeed. Thank you. Good luck, my dear friends.